Yeah, sorry, I was not at my comp, but now I'm here. Yeah, I'm on the way.
And Kaiserklein just joining me in the nick of time. Of course, me and Kaiser will be bringing this to you, and as well as a whole bunch of other people, I suppose. Thank you for that $3 donation, really highlighting, so many different people involved in bringing this tournament. ESOC for the maps and hosting the website that we're scheduling everyone on, and Comic K for getting everyone together. Of course, I suppose us here at Escape, we're funding this. I'm casting it. All of these things, Kaiser and Maito and Wicked Cossack and lots of people casting. It's been a real road, but this is another one of those final matches that will qualify somebody. Sundanchet's coming in with the subscription there. Thank you very much for subscribing for the first time. Thank you very much. Yes, absolutely. But we are ready now. It will be the Sioux versus the Sioux, by the looks of it here. Both players have greened in there, Kaiser. And I think without further ado, let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 1 in a best-of-7 series between LordRaphael and Snow. The winner of this series will qualify for the Escape AoE LAN tournament. They will be brought here to Manchester in July to compete on the stage versus others who have qualified. The loser will be dropped down to the lower bracket, where their next match actually will also qualify them. So if they can't qualify here, there is another chance to do so in the lower bracket. But this, a very important game, and we think perhaps one of the strongest two players to go up against each other in the tournament thus far. We're expecting this to be a very, very close series. To start things off, here we have, in the right-hand side of the map, in the color green, Snow, aka King Eric, or Koenig Eric, playing as the Sioux. It is an all-food start here. Here's a 50 wood treasure next to his base. But in the middle there are, of course, the two spawns of goats, another 40 wood treasure, and a 85 wood treasure as well. So keep an eye on the middle there, a hot point of contention. But LordRaphael also playing the Sioux. Here he is, in the north of the map, in the color blue. Both explorers rushing towards the center here. Looks like LordRaphael has the edge there on the goats. He's going to get there first. But there is still a second spawn of goats up for grabs. Looks like we have some explorer combat already, and explains why Snow was a bit later to getting here. He decided to convert the Guardian of the Tiger in his base. And, oh no, look at this! I really like this from Snow. He's attacking the explorer to try and make the goats the area damage. Normally you can't target them. Do you think that will work? I think LordRaphael has to be very careful, right?
It does work. You can. It's kind of a micro war where one player is gonna have to try to keep his goats away from his explorer, and the other one is gonna try to kind of block and stuff. But if you do get the area damage in, you can kill some livestock. It's a good trick as Sioux.
Yeah. Not going to be the case here though.
Snow converted that Guardian, so that's why he also felt confident starting the fight. But he didn't use the wood yet. He's using it now for a TP. It's maybe slightly late, but regardless, gonna give him a nice eco boost. Meanwhile, LordRaphael did get away with taking the middle 85 wood, though.
Yeah, that's a really, really nice treasure. But he did give up. And he's not given up too much for it, right? They both got two goats there. He managed to get his goats home safely. Looks like Snow is going to come in here, and he's going to be able to get the 40 wood and an extra snow leopard as well. But LordRaphael going to quickly target that down with his tiger nearby. I think here we're just going to lose all of the Guardians thus far. They're just going to take them out because they're quite easy to kill. And now it's down to just the Sioux War Chiefs again.
Yeah, the Sioux mirror in Age 1 is kind of stupid, really. It's like they can't kill each other, but it takes so long to like kill the war chiefs because they do like 3 damage to each other.
Yeah, and it's kind of pointless, right?
Yeah, and you can't crack shot and that kind of stuff. So like the treasure contentions are also a bit stupid. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but it's.
Yeah, you're sort of wasting your time when attacking your opponent's explorer, right? Because you've only got 6 damage, which is 0.5 against other heroes, so it's 3 damage each, which is really quite rubbish. Instead, your time's better spent looking for goats, which is probably why LordRaphael was like, "Stop!" ? In the chat there.
Yeah, right. And this mirror kind of shows how strong Sioux is at the moment, because none of these players are actually primarily Sioux player. I think they can boss play Sioux really well, but maybe not as well as, for example, Germany or France. But they decided to go for Sioux anyway because Sioux is just so strong at the moment. I think, especially on this kind of map, they kind of outshadow Germany and France and the other semi-FF civs. So they just mirrored because maybe none of them felt confident playing against Sioux without being Sioux.
Yeah, fair enough. I know both of these players very comfortable with Germany and France, as you're mentioning, in that sort of semi-FF style that's come to be. So, yeah, not playing those civs yet. Going to play Sioux here in this first match. And that's interesting to see a Sioux mirror right off the bat. But both players in the center here. Looks like they're chopping wood for a trading post. Just going to attack each other and trade blows. But blue is going to get the 200 wood first, and green is going to be denied placing the TP there. He's going to have to go home and place it at home instead. But in terms of age 1, let's take a look at the treasures here. It looks like LordRaphael, I think, coming out ahead with slightly more goats, or actually 1 less goats. He's got 4 goats to his opponent's 5, but he did get that 85 wood treasure and a 30 coin treasure as well, whereas Snow only got sort of the 2 smaller wood treasures, which I suppose makes up, and in total is about 85 wood. Actually, it's more than that. So actually a very even age 1, perhaps. But slightly more goats to LordRaphael, perhaps. But that's now out the way. A very even start, but we are now heading up to the colonial age here. Both players going up with the chief for 400 wood and a market and a few TPs coming out from LordRaphael. Looks like those Snow not looking to add in any extra TPs or markets or anything like that. Just gathering lots of coin and other, food and coin, and not going to be doing that. What does Snow have in mind then? He's not looking to build TPs.
I just want to point that out because in a mirror, getting like these 5 monkeys can help you win the first fight. Like if you have 5 against 5 riders, but one player has also 5 monkeys, it's gonna win the fight. And Snow converted one of these, but in fact, LordRaphael stole it, so it's kind of big.
Oh wow! Yeah, 5 fright eggs.
Okay, what was your question before that? Sorry.
It looks like that LordRaphael has gone with lots of TPs in a market, and now the corral coming up in the back there. But Snow, he's now only just getting the market and has made considerably fewer TPs. Oh, and a trading post, a second one coming from LordRaphael.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how Snow is spending his wood. I guess he just chopped much less wood, and that's why he has much more food and coin banked. So he maybe wants to get solid batches out. But to be honest, as EP Sioux, usually you can chop a lot of wood in transition for TPs and stuff. And usually you get your market up in Colonial because you want to first get your TPs up. That is going to boost your wood gathering in transition, so you can keep gathering wood faster and faster and keep making more TPs. And then with the 400 wood, you can make your market. And well, they maybe Boss didn't exactly do that, but it's kind of similar. Although, yeah, LordRaphael is going really a little bit more greedy with more TPs and a second trading post as well.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see if Snow can punish that with maybe more units or something. Because if he doesn't punish it, he's just going to be behind, right?
Yeah.
So
I think that might be what he does. I'm just going to ask you if you wouldn't mind turning down your audio just a little bit. We're getting a tiny bit of feedback. But Snow has created 5 bow riders much sooner than his opponent. It looks like Blue has now got that out just a tiny bit later. It's not going to matter, though, because no one's marching across the map just yet. So far, LordRaphael has more TPs and a second trading post. So I think actually here he's getting away with the greed at the moment. Perhaps during the second batch it might be fewer villagers for Blue or something since he built so many extra TPs. We'll see. And then maybe Green will have a slight advantage. But yeah, Green, at the moment, it seems a little bit further behind just from this slight extra decision to go with the extra TPs. But Blue, LordRaphael, he got those extra monkeys, right? Maybe that will be enough to help him get away with this greedier style that he's going for at the moment.
Yeah, and it's also that, well, they're just not fighting right now. And even if you a little bit more greedy, but you anyway get 5 more riders, it doesn't matter. I mean, like you can't get more than 5 at a time, right? So they're just boss with 10 more riders. Like you said, LordRaphael has these monkeys, which is probably enabling him to get that forward Wahat here, just because he knows he's got a slight advantage with the monkeys. Although he's not bringing them. So
10 bow riders coming in. Looks like they're going to try and take a volley on one of the bow riders going down here. 5 other bow riders only just getting into the fight. They do kill one there. I think this is slightly blue favor just because he started the fight first, but his monkeys, they're not here. Blue trying to escape, trying to micro that away. But blue, I think, on top here. But green still going to stay in the fight here. Just looking to...
Now he did focus the war chief, but yeah, he's anyway ahead. And now he's also going to get that forward Wahad. He's going to secure his second trading post. So yeah, it's just looking quite good for LordRaphael. It's not a huge advantage he's got here, but it's just gonna snowball maybe a little bit. He's also gonna be aging up slightly earlier than Snow. Both players are trying to age now.
Yeah, both players have sent 700 gold. I like that he did focus the War Chief, though. That's now down. But yeah, Warhut going up in base because he can't put it forward. But LordRaphael really securing the center of the map and this trading post now that his Warhut is up. And he's going to have, a better spawn point to send his shipments from once he reaches the colonial age. LordRaphael is up a bit sooner by the looks of it there. Almost halfway age now, going up with the messenger politician to get up really, really quickly. Let's take a look at his deck and see what's in store there. Nothing out of the ordinary. And we'll take a look at Snow's deck as well. It's actually the very same there, at least for the Fortress Age and the Colonial Age as well. Yeah, that's right. I think
there's
an 8 Axe Rider shipment for in the Industrial Age for Snow. So if it does go all the way to the Industrial Age, he's got 1 extra shipment to give him the edge. But I don't think that's going to matter for a long time. LordRaphael is now up here to the Fortress Age, but Snow not far behind him. This is looking to be a very tense game at the moment. It's very even, except LordRaphael with the extra TP.
Yeah, extra TPs, a couple extra Beriders, the forward Wahat. I mean, he's a bit ahead. Nothing like too big. Like one fight could just swing it in Snow's favor. But for the time being, LordRaphael is slightly ahead, and he did just kill a villager, I believe, right?
Yeah, he did kill a villager. So getting even sort of further ahead there. 9 Wakino, first shipment to arrive, called at the forward war hut here, is moving across the map. It does walk across the dead war chief, so Snow going to know 9 Wakina was the first shipment sent, but looking like to get a counter villager kill here. Certainly going to get one. And I think going to get a second one as well. Yeah. These villagers going a bit crazy. 2 villagers killed. And I think he's going to be able to get a third.
The problem, though, is that he doesn't have his hero with him, and LordRaphael does have his war chief, so he's faster, and he could snare these Beriders and kill them all, maybe. But he's not finding them right now, currently.
No, and there's a fight in base here. 2 Wakina shipments. The monkeys have joined up with the blue Wakina in base. Samurai does go down there. And it back to here, though. It looks like he has found the bow riders there, and you are right, he's got his war chief, which means these 4 bow riders, they're outspeeded. These blue ones are faster with the speed aura from the war chief there. He's trying to get away. He's trying to get out of there. It looks like he's doing okay. He's got a while before they sort of catch up with him. Maybe he can get all the way across the map. Maybe he can meet up with the Wakina in somewhere halfway through. Oh, I like that.
He's
pulls one back.
The low HP one to snare, yeah.
Brilliant.
That's pretty good.
And that's going to give him lots of time. But pathing around this coin mine, he's lost some of that lead that he's gained. I really like the snare, though.
Well, what I would have really liked...
He's lost it. Nice, he's away.
Eric to do... What I would have liked him to do at this point is maybe push the middle, meanwhile, because there was so many more Beriders for LordRaphael running behind Eric's Beriders that he had a military lead in the other part of the map, maybe. But he didn't really abuse that. Maybe he's just too far behind in military regardless, because he's 15 military behind for some reason, despite LordRaphael shipping both CAF combat and CAF HP now. And
that's the trouble with the extra TP. It's sort of really helping out now at this point. And those monkeys are just going to tank so much damage, right? And this looks like a great fight for LordRaphael.
I don't get how 2 TPs bring him 2 extra shipments. Okay, now Snow got the CAF combat, so it's going to be a little bit closer, but it's definitely... it's probably going to be GG. I mean...
All of these Wakinas going down very quickly. Now the war chief on the front tanking as well, just trying to kite back here. But he's lost quite a lot of Wakina just to, a few extra small advantages like having monkeys and things like that. Villager does go down, pulling the Vils off the coin man now. But 5 Wakina do pop out. But this fight, considering Blue has got cavalry HP on his bow riders as well, all the Wakina now dead. And Blue in a very dominant position. Looks like LordRaphael is going to pick up the first game there. Snow calling the resignation. A very fast and dirty Kamchatka Sioux mirror. Let's head on out and see what the next game has in store for us there.
Yeah, that was quick. Feels like Snow he just felt a little bit behind the whole game. And LordRaphael snowballing some small advantages and just doing a good job at staying ahead. And despite losing a couple more Vils, he just had much more military as well as more upgrades on his units. So
yeah, he was on point that game. But Sioux is no longer a civ that LordRaphael can play. And remember, Sioux, very strong at the moment. Perhaps that's something they've been practicing with. Clearly, they both just used it. Maybe Snow will be able to go on and play Sioux at a later point. But let's take a look at the civilization selection screen and see what maps are coming up next. Up next, Baja, California here. The vetoes are New England from Snow, and Deccan was vetoed by LordRaphael here, leaving the rest of the pool open. What do you think of those vetoes?
I think it's very sad because Deccan and New England are probably the best games to watch. But from a player point of view, who vetoed what? Do you know?
Yes, I do. Snow vetoed New England.
Snow vetoed New England. Well, it's not very surprising from Snow because he's a very standard land player. If you remember the finals against Kinesi last tournament, or not last tournament, the one before, he just lost all the water games to Kinesi, but he won all the land games, So maybe he just doesn't really want to play on New England.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
While LordRaphael is slightly more comfortable with water. We've seen him play some water sometimes. About Deccan, well, I don't know. I don't know why LordRaphael vetoed that. He must have his reasons, but it could be any reason, really. Probably doesn't have any civ he's really super comfortable playing there. I don't know.
Yes.
But yeah. I would have loved to see these maps because they are really entertaining.
Not today, though. Yeah, Deccan, more of a sort of non-standard map. All those extra resources, perhaps Snow not wanting to play on that, a bit non-standard, perhaps there. But yeah, that was an interesting game. LordRaphael, very dominant. It was interesting to see how he went for the TP, get a second TP. They both had quite similar treasures in Age 1. I think LordRaphael, he picked up the 85 wood, but Snow got 50 wood and 40 wood. And then the only other treasure of resources was, I think, 30 coin. And then after that, obviously, in the Colonial Age, I think there was a couple of extra small ones in their base. There was the 5 monkeys as well. But in terms of wood, it was very even at the start. I always lose the mirrors to those monkeys, by the way.
Yeah, I played the same mirror on the same map against him in some tournament, and I got the monkeys and some samurais and stuff, and he shit the Satan bows, and literally my monkeys and all my pets killed like the 6 Satan shipment by themselves while the Boraiders were fighting, and then he just lost.
Yeah.
So maybe he's a little bit sad about that because it's kind of a remake of that. But yeah, I agree with LordRaphael. It's not so much about the monkeys this time. It's more that LordRaphael felt like he was more comfortable with the current Sioux meta, which is kind of greedy, especially in the mirror, because you can't really punish your opponent. Since if you build more TPs in your base, you're more greedy, but you're also safer because your units get so much more HP boost on them when they stand in your base. So you can't really push that, right? Especially with Boraiders, because it's not like they can siege TPs or something, they can just shoot. And when your opponent has Boraiders with like 100 more hit points than yours, what are you gonna do? You can't push in. So LordRaphael just abused that and made a lot of TPs and a second trading post. And and he just was ahead from there. And Snow played it not that greedy, and I think it was a mistake. Yeah.
Just people in the chat saying it was the 85 wood treasure that let him get that second TP that let him win the game there. But actually, both of them had very similar wood treasures. There was an 85 wood treasure, and as I said, the other player got 50 wood and 40 wood. It's just, I think LordRaphael had, the plan in mind to build. Actually, well, they were both standing in the center of the map, right, to build that middle TP. But LordRaphael got there first, and Snow had to build his in base.
Yeah, but I mean, well, the second TP is nice for sure, but I don't think you have to take that. Maybe Snow could have stayed a little bit more colonial to try to punish that forward position. I don't know. I don't think the second TP was too big of a deal. It came into play only at the end, like at 13 minutes or something, where LordRaphael got the extra cap HP shipment, but that was a long way into the game. Before that, the second trading post didn't really matter too much, but maybe the TPs, the fact that Snow had only 2 in his base, while LordRaphael had like 6, just slowed Snow down a bit too much.
That does help a lot, right? That extra gather rate. He built quite a few TPs, but LordRaphael bringing Germany out. 300 bitties, pardon me, 500 bitties coming in from Sandanchez, or bits. I don't know why I call them bitties. Kappa 500, he says. Thank you very much. But Germany. It looks like in the chat he says he forgot about Baja, California. This is a best of 7, and so far they've only been playing best of 5s here. But LordRaphael bringing out the big guns already. We know Germany is one of his strong civilizations here. Snow going to pick British. That's an interesting matchup. I always feel
very interesting.
Quite uncomfortable playing as British here, but Snow, he wants to play as the British. It's his counter pick. LordRaphael is serving, so to speak, like in tennis or badminton. Yeah. I don't know if that term will actually be useful for Age of Empires 3. Whoever picks their civ first is serving, but we'll try it.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird map for Germany because it's overall a good map just because it's large, so you can raid a lot, and like Cav is just better overall, a bit like in team games. And you do have lots of gold on the map, I think, but against an aggressive civ, your second gold mine is not safe, and it can be risky. Like I could see Snow being a little bit aggressive just because he likes to do that as Brits.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's gonna be interesting for sure.
I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got in mind there. I always feel like I'm waiting for Germany to come at me, and it just feels like a horrible time. But we'll see what he has in mind. Both these players exceptionally good, and I think Snow, he knows what he's doing. Let's start with him in the left-hand side of the map here in the color green, playing as the British there. 200 wood start and a coin as well, so less likely to see a trading post, which is something we have been seeing from British a lot recently, though a TP would indicate to me that he wants to go with Virginia Company, but if he wants to be aggressive, maybe he could have a TP and that would help him as well. It's interesting, but let's not dwell on that too much. Picks up 10 coin in base, and now going to get out onto the map. First treasure he'll find is 40 XP there. He's still got his crack shot available. I wonder if he'll use it on a lone cougar. But his opponent, LordRaphael, playing as the Germans. He has start with a market, with a coin start. That does mean trading posts are quite hard to get. But the market, he's going to have to gather the coin and wood for the hunting dogs. And I have a feeling that that's what you were going, ooh, about. That's going to slow his age up down, and therefore his aggression, right? Once he hits Fortress, it's going to, the whole thing will be slower.
I actually referred to that. 150 coin, really nice when you have a market start, although Snow didn't build the market, so it's not going to matter too much. But it's still a really good treasure. Now, yeah, like you say, LordRaphael has to chop and mine, but he also needs to gather food. And does he have a villager in queue right now? He's idling a little bit just now. You can see LordRaphael doesn't have the food for his next villager because it was not a food start. It was a 200 food start only, and he kind of mismacroed and didn't set enough villagers on food. As Germany, you have to put 2 settler wagons on food on that kind of start. So, yeah, a bit of idle time, not the biggest deal in the world, but certainly not the greatest start for LordRaphael. I think we'll see him edging up. What did he pick up? Only 30 coin, and I think we'll see LordRaphael edging up late, potentially even going for an 18 age up, which could be a really sad because Snow, yeah, you mentioned that you like to play a bit passive against Germany as Brits, and lots of Brits players do that, but Snow has really good Brits, but he's really not the passive kind of Brits. He's really the Musk Huss aggressive style kind of Brits, and you
treasure
don't want to be
contention.
aging late.
Looks like 60
yeah.
food here. He's going to pick that up, no problem, but Snow can now go into hand combat. A bit of a spike there. Just continue the trend.
Yeah, I don't know why this is happening. Can you see my message, or?
Yeah, I can see your message. I saw everyone. Oh, it's you.
It's me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm here.
Yeah, it's just flashing.
That is weird.
You know how it flashes you up and down?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is the game bugging, right? Because I actually have internet. I'm talking with you, so.
That's true. Maybe we just drop you then, and you can screen share, and then get back in on the next one.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna resign when the game lets me. That is unfortunate. It's just good old ESO. Good old ESO things. It's kind of sad.
Okay, we dropped you. Alright, let me get you back in here.
Alright.
We just got out of sync.
Wait, the game went out of sync?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad.
Okay, I suppose we'll replay the Baja California game. That was really weird.
Yeah, this is why we really need a definitive edition, right? Because this kind of stuff is so strange. It's not like anyone actually lost connection, and yeah, it's makes no sense. This is unfortunate.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah, well, luckily it wasn't too far in the game, right? But still, but it's also not the first time we have this. If you remember that Yumu against Kinesis series a long time ago, I mean a couple years ago, where a caster left because it was lagging, and then it went out of sync, and they did a coin flip to decide who would advance to the next round.
Oh wow, I do remember that. Yeah,
it's a classic. Yeah, yeah, that kind of stuff sadly happens. So I guess we're just gonna be happy that it wasn't too far in the game, and we're gonna just replay it. All right.
Yeah, it was on Discord with me the whole time. It's not like your connection dropped, but
no,
yeah,
really
let's try this again. It is game number 2 in a best of 7 series between LordRaphael and Snow. The winner of this series will progress through and will be qualified for the LAN. They'll be flown here in July to compete at our studio in Manchester, or actually just outside of Manchester. The game dropped there for a reason. That's unusual, actually, but we will give it a second go. Spawning now in the right-hand side of the map, in the color blue, we do have LordRaphael, actually the same positions as before, except, and this time the same crate starts as before.
Oh, that's cool.
An extra food, though.
Yeah, extra food.
So early market would be much easier to get this time around. LordRaphael, we saw him idle his TC just for a moment, because gathering that food and getting hunting dogs all at the same time can be a little bit difficult. But here should be much easier to do. We'll see if they've got the same strategies in mind. 30 coin in base for LordRaphael. That's going to be quite nice for an early market. And also going to find 10 coin as he walks out on the map, as well as a 75 coin up here guided by Coyote. So nice treasures nearby for LordRaphael. His opponent, Snow, playing as the British here. He will also have 100 extra food. And by the looks of it, not going to go with the market. Just going to stay with the single house like he chose to last time. And I thought that was going to be the 150 coin treasure again. It was exactly in the same spot, but it's actually a cow, which is not quite as good.
I was like, yeah, nice. We have exactly the same spawn like before, but
yeah.
But he does go again for that 60 foot, which is pretty much in the same spot as the previous game. And LordRaphael also comes again, but he's not going to be able to.
This is a mirror. Yeah, Age of Empires 3 actually doesn't have random maps. It's the same maps every time. That's how that works. I think the ESOC maps did introduce a lot less randomness because they just spawn in this more static way, and you can expect your hunts to be in certain places, although it is still sort of random overall. But yeah, Snow going to be picking himself up 60 food, and with the extra 100 food start here, perhaps he can go up with one fewer villager as well, which would really suit his sort of aggressive style. But LordRaphael going to chase the British explorer all the way back to his town centre here, and in fact going to come under the TC a little bit, is going to take a shot from some villagers there. 3 villagers went idle for that shot. But regardless, quite a lot of explorer fighting in this Age 1.
Yeah, definitely. And wait, did he just garrison some vills, or how is LordRaphael low HP now? Is his explorer?
He garrisoned 3 vills.
Oh yeah, yeah. That is. I mean, you know, like Brits don't care too much about the HP on the explorer, but Germany will want to take a trading post most likely, and you don't really want to be behind in the Age 1 war, because then your trading post might be denied, especially on such a large map.
Oh wow, that's ballsy. Look at that. He just went for the 75 coin. He doesn't even care. He's just like, nah, I don't care. I'm just going to go for it.
That's very lucky, because looks like LordRaphael couldn't see that, but...
Yeah, or wasn't paying attention. Maybe he was macroing his villagers, making sure they weren't going to stand up or do something, and just making sure everything's going on okay at home. But yeah, Snow just goes for it and manages to get that coin treasure. But this time, I don't think LordRaphael going to be so lucky. Snow coming in from behind here. But surely he'll know, right? He scouted the treasure, at least, or perhaps he didn't. But yeah, this looks like Snow just going to wait on the side there to steal it.
Yeah.
Resubscription coming in from RTP. Thank you very much. 123, absolutely. But does leave a single Coyote there, so he has got some. But Snow,
Snow got it, I think. Although it's close, yeah, he got it. And LordRaphael is still with less HP, so Snow is going to be able to chase him all the way back home, get another like 50 HP down his explorer or something like that. And then he's going to be at quite low HP to build a trading post, right? 120 HP, and that is just not so good for LordRaphael at this point. You see he's trying to sneak on top along the shore or something like that, because he's desperate to go for the TP without being spotted. But I guess the map is so large, Snow can't really guess on which TP LordRaphael is going to go. It's either on bottom or on top. He's not going to go for middle because it's a bit too exposed. But yeah, so it looks like Snow is going to go on the bottom trading post to try to deny it, while LordRaphael is in fact going on top. So that's one lucky thing for LordRaphael here at least.
Yeah, he's going to get his TP down, and that's going to be sort of absolutely fine for him. But good for British to check. And that's the trouble. Yeah. You really want to keep a close eye on where opponent's explorer is. You're sort of chasing him across the map, and I think could well have followed the explorer there, getting it wrong on this occasion. But looks like Snow, the British player, up before Germany here. Looks like he did skip a vill, and is now got his outpost out, bringing that forward, and is going to use that to be aggressive, it would seem. And can place a barracks down perhaps next to the outpost. No forward villagers sort of just yet. The outpost sort of... let's see where it decides to go. It's going to be placed over here next to this hunt. So not actually super aggressive. It looks like it's just securing some sort of map control by this trading post. But no forward barracks from Snow. He is going to play a bit more passive today by the looks of it.
Yeah, that's typical Snow tower placement. Just like really kind of a team team kind of tower. You know, just getting map on a random spot on the map, just grabbing some food and coin mine or something like that, getting line of sight. And he's dropping the typical snow barracks as well, like not gonna rush, but getting again a little bit of map presence by having a slightly forward barracks, you know, just ready to send units at different locations on the map a little bit faster. So that is looking to me like typical snow stuff.
Yeah.
And we do have an in-base stable for LordRaphael, so also gonna be doing well, kind of standard Germany stuff by the looks of it.
Yeah, starting with 3 settler wagons, definitely very standard Germany stuff. Finds the Explorer there, does pick that off with the 2 Uhlans that he gets for free, and these now going to move on and see if they can kill a couple of villagers there. They are going to be scouted if they come through, but if they come through next to this house, they'll be seen, and if they don't, they'll also be seen on the bottom side. So really nice house placements from Snow there to just scout anything coming in. But LordRaphael, his Explorer, has just walked through. He knows what's going on in base, and he's seen, I think, the barracks as well. But 4 pikemen, or 5 actually, have been trained for Snow, and splitting them up, being very diligent there. 3 pikes going to chase these around. He knows where those calves are. And the other 2, getting into position to try and head off and catch the snare and see if he can kill these 2 Uhlans there. Looks like it'll be quite close, but I think the cav will just edge past. Yeah, they get away.
Yeah, they do escape here. He splits them maybe slightly too far, but anyway, that was a good try. That's not very snow-ish to make these pikes, but he probably has a plan. It's interesting, but he's got 10 pikes now, which is kind of a lot, you know, just because. Well, the more pikes you train, the less real units you have. And I don't know exactly what he wants to do with these pikes. Maybe just siege. Maybe... I guess until Germany adds doppels, you're really fine with pikes, right? Against Uhlan, it's totally fine. But if doppels come in, then it's big.
Bill kill. Nice pick up next to the tower.
Yeah, I do like that he shipped 5 bills there, because you don't have too many hunts on Baja, California. So he's just grabbing a hunt. But unfortunately, losing a villager here.
But the pikes, they are going to get some work done. Looks like the Uhlans are back in his base, are still being chased around by a few pikes left at home to defend. And they do get caught by 2 pikes standing guard there. Is going to let one go back, and the other is able to escape. But is going to take down that market with his forward pikes, the market just outside of the TC radius. And that's going to be frustrating for LordRaphael. He's built a new market by the looks of it in the back, so it's actually done quite a bit. You know, it's basically killed a house. It's killed because he's rebuilt it to get his steel traps in. So that's going to be annoying. 100 less wood for LordRaphael, and now those pikemen, perhaps they can go up towards the trading post and destroy it here. But he's going to catch the Uhlans again. Really need to be careful, and his Explorer is going to be revived as well. But now LordRaphael up to the next stage. Those pikemen. They could come in and maybe try and kill a house, but I'm not sure if they'll have enough time. It will be, of course, a batch of units and a shipment on the way. Perhaps they will go up and kill the trading post. Maybe no. They've trained it. They've grouped up with some longbowmen, and he's coming back in with extra units here.
Yeah. So in fact, LordRaphael went for a naked FF, maybe trying to mind game a little bit with his stable, but in fact, he had only 3 Uhlans so far. He didn't train any. And he just went for the greedy naked FF with 700 wood, which is pretty good if you get away with it. Then again, you see he's already done with his in-base coin mine, because on this map, the gold is so low. So imagine if Snow stayed colonial, because now he's aging, in fact. And I feel like Snow could totally pressure that gold mine here. But he decided to just train a bunch of pikes and then go age up, which really surprised me from Snow here. But he probably knows what he's doing. And it's just kind of a more standard semi-FF style from Brits in this matchup.
Yeah.
Adding a couple hussars now as well, gonna raid with them. He might find that, which could be nice. And he's gonna get the TP down, most likely. Has to be careful though, because there's skirms out, and skirm Uhlan is a hard counter to longbow pike. So
here he comes. Uhlans now streaming into the base here, going to force the villagers off the coin mine and the wood there into the TC. And Snow, only not even just halfway aged, so it's going to be a while before he can sort of have units coming to defend against this. There's a lot of villagers here trying to get into the TC. Is going to take a couple of them down. Minutemen being called to force this away. One villager does go down, and a second one as well But the Minutemen here in the TC5 is just going to trade off his Uhlans against the Minutemen, and is going to lose quite a few here. But in the north, meanwhile, skirmishers fighting against the pikesmen. They've taken them all down, so trading off all the pikes here. But the longbows, they have done a bit of damage. But ultimately, I think the trade in the bottom, much better for green, and in the top, much better for blue.
Yeah. Still, though, it's buying time for Snow to age up, and he did get the TP down, and and now LordRaphael is not really pressuring him. He's on his way, but Snow is gonna be up. He's gonna pop 7 longbows with his age up, and he's probably gonna be okay for the time being. So still a very decent position for Snow to be in, I guess. And he did force a bunch of the villagers of this coin mine here. And he even killed a settler wagon there with his 3 hussars.
Nice. This is also classic Snow, just having 2 cav out on the map at all times. It's just such is the way of things when you play against Snow. But the Uhlans now coming in, skirms behind it, trying to pull the longbows with his bigger group of army away from the range of the skirmishers. Looks like the villagers on the mine will have to be forced off into the TC. Some coming back out onto berries here. This is a big army for the German player, and he's got Minutemen in here as well mixed in. I think he's going to clean this up. There's only a few pikes here. And the Uhlans, Hussars now back as well. A couple of villagers coming out to try and soak a bit of extra damage in this fight. He's got 8 in the TC. All the pikemen have gone down now, and the Uhlans on top of the longbowmen, they're all going to die. The Hussars of green, though, they have found some juicy skirms to kill, but the Uhlans are now done killing the longbowmen and come back here to defend.
Oh my god. I'm sorry to cut you, but he shipped everything at his tower.
Ouch.
I mean, I guess the 7 longbows were intentional. He didn't want them to just, like, die. But the 5 hearts, he definitely needed them just there. And now he's gonna go in, but he can't really... I mean, this is really awkward for Snow now. He kind of just wasted his spikes on top next to the TP when you think about it. Like, he lost lots of spikes in cover mode against skirms. But he's gonna... This is going to be close.
Yeah, this is pretty good for him. He's going to finish off that last Ulan there, and now the 3 Hussars are going to do quite well against these Minutemen, especially with the longbows from behind. I think, though, it's going to be quite even. Once the Hussars have gone down, it should be even skirms versus longbowmen. But actually reinforcing Ulan coming in here. And for LordRaphael, a couple of Dragoons, though. Couple of Dragoons
and
coming in.
9 Musketeers as well. Snow is totally okay here, I think. There's more Ulans on the way, but they're going to be up against just too much anti-cav, I believe.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to take it though. I mean, I guess his musketeers are not veteran, but I do believe this is gonna be a good trade for Snow probably at the end of the day. Although my bad, I guess. No, he's getting cleaned up.
Yeah, but a lot of low HP all on there as well. But he does get cleaned up. But LordRaphael not confident to stay and push. Instead, villagers, a couple of exposed ones. The Ulan there very good at raiding. Let's see if he can get into the tower there if he splits this one being attacked off. But LordRaphael, he's going to try and get the snare on each individual villager and try and kill as many as he can. And we're going to see just 2 make it of the 4 safely to the tower here. Dragoons and Ulans. The Dragoons wanting to... They do see the Ulans there and are now sort of heading back. And some more Dragoons up this side as well. 2 Falconets coming in.
Yeah, really ballsy 2 Falconets here. He doesn't have much to cover them, just 6 Dragoons. But, I mean, there's no more Ulan shipments for LordRaphael, I guess. So, it could be hard for LordRaphael to mass enough Ulans to maybe catch this British army, but he does need something to block a little bit more. I hope Snow is not gonna go forward. Yeah, he's going back. Like, this is madness. You can't just go with like 6 Gund and 2 Falks against Germany, right? You need something to block a bit, or just more Dragoons or something like that. He's got 10 Dragoons now, but it's still not enough. Like,
yeah,
he has, like, you really need to body block with something, and Dragoons can't really do that. So
Dragoon's not a good body blocking unit, no, for sure.
Yeah.
And I am kind of concerned. There's a lot of skirm and Ulan here, and this is very far out in the open for Snow. I'd like to see him back in his base there, underneath the TC or something, where the cannons are. There's fewer angles to get to them. Having said that, though, good volley on the skirms going into stagger mode, extra spacing so the area damage is less effective. Second volley! Really nice there.
He locked it. And
with the line of sight of the outpost, that was really nice, yeah. And able to get the second volley in. Is going to kill off this outpost there. There's no villagers inside it. Couple of Ulans here. Gonna get caught.
Yeah. So that's looking pretty okay for Snow at this point, but he still needs to get map control because he doesn't have much food left in his base, and if he wants map control, he needs to be able to cover his falconets. Oh, they are not seeing each other on top.
This is a much better spot for those Falcons. It's much more harder for the Cav to get on top of them there. But
yeah, but there's nothing to cover them. He has to be really careful. Like, that was kind of a mind game. Just LordRaphael didn't know how many units would be covering the falconets, and you don't really want to go in with Ulans if you don't commit totally to the fight, because they drop really quick. So if you go in and go back, you can lose a ton of Ulans. And I guess LordRaphael decided it was safer to not fight the falconets here. Maybe he saw Snow would have a bit more units there, but in fact he could have gone in and cleaned up everything. Just Snow being a little bit ballsy here.
Yeah, being very careful, LordRaphael. It is a tournament game after all, and you have to you know, respect your opponent. It makes sense when you're playing against someone of sort of Snow's caliber, but now he's got quite a lot of stuff. Lots of Dragoons, a few Hussars there, and some Musketeers as well. Going to chase down the skirmishers with the Hussars there, and the Dragoons can provide extra damage on top. Falcons coming in from behind. That's really nice. Cav combat coming in just as the fight begins. Big volley on the skirms there, and not really very many skirmishers. Yeah, there's not many Ulans left here. I don't think Snow can take this. He's just going straight for the cannons, but they're going to die.
Yeah, you mean? Yeah. He had the counter composition. Even just having only 4 Hussars, it's not a lot, right? And they're not even veteran, but it forces the Ulans to go in front and try to take them out, right? To cover the skirms. And then you just bring your goons with Cav combat and you just tear through the Ulans, and it's just a really good, was just a really good fight. And another big falconet volley. And what do you do here as Germany? I mean,
that Explorer
he's so behind now.
That Explorer doing a lot for the volleys, right? If you've got line of sight on the units, your cannons sort of have extra range. They can lock on. I won't explain how it works here, but look at this, 2 Ulans. LordRaphael still being very persistent with the raids here and forcing all these vills off the coin, but Snow has left a few goons at home just to defend against this and is being sort of very diligent. Couple of vills going to go down for LordRaphael, and if we take a look at units lost, that's going to even it up quite a lot now. 3 villagers and a settler wagon, so that's 3, 4, 5 villagers gone down for LordRaphael, but 10 have gone down for Snow. So LordRaphael has been very successful at killing villagers and raiding this game, but ultimately British still British, and we'll just have more villages because of the mana bonus that they get. Let's take a look at military units, though.
Oh, that's a lot of war wagons, though.
Yeah, and, that's 9 war wagons.
I think he can just snipe the falconets, but he's a little bit afraid.
Coming back
and
in.
There's 10 longbows, but they have to cross the map towards the falconets. So if Snow can buy enough time, he's going to be okay with the longbows to cover the falcons. But just now it was a little bit risky, and well, looks like he's going to be okay, but could have gone really badly for Snow there. I think he would still probably win the game, but losing the falcons could be...
Here he comes. No, they are on the move there, and the Dragoons are set up and poised to... No, not going to be able to get the falconets today. Taking a look at the military units... Very even, actually, between green and red. 10 skirms, 9 war wagons, and 3 Ulans for blue. And his opponent on 10 longbows, 12 cannons, and 2 falconets. I think that falcon composition is very scary, though. Once they're down, perhaps it'll be easier for LordRaphael, but getting them down is going to be a real challenge.
Yeah, I think the unit composition is just so much better for Snow, and he also got Cav combat, and Dragoons are better than war wagons. Then, yeah, he does have a few... Oh, no, that falconet bucking, getting stuck here next to the tower and sniped by the war wagon. That's so unfortunate. God, well. But, yeah, he doesn't have veteran longbows or veteran musketeers, though. He does need to get veteran longbows at some point, probably. Nice little raid here from Snow. He can probably take on these war wagons with his Dragoons just because he's got Cav combat. But he's just going back. I guess Brits don't need to be too aggressive. He's quite a bit ahead in eco. Germany used up every single unit shipment, I think. I'm going to check his deck, but yeah, that's the 5 big German shipments he's just spent in a row, right? And and now he can just... He's overpopped, so he's got something on the way for sure, and that has to be like Jaegers or some mercenary shipment. I expect Jaegers because he's got war wagons to be safe against Hussars, so probably going to be getting the 13 Jaegers just on the
Yeah.
way now.
Meanwhile,
so that is going
though,
to be probably his last try to come back in the game.
5 hussars coming out across the map here. They're going to find a bunch of villagers tasked to woods, and that could spell the end for them, but no, yes, he does see them there, and are going to attack that right away. We see the skirmishers and some war wagons frantically trying to get across the map, but this is not looking good for LordRaphael, losing sort of even more villagers. They were quite out in the middle of the map, though, but he's going to take out a few goons for free, but a volley on top. Hessian Jaegers have arrived, and that's going to be a big go time for LordRaphael. Is he going to get a volley with his single falcon on the skirms? He does. And
yeah, I just spilled my coffee everywhere, unfortunately, so I have to clean that up after this game. But,
oh no, I did hear you drop something, and I thought, oh god,
Yeah.
what's he done? Yeah.
That was just so bad. But yeah, anyway.
I thought you
yeah,
had
so
good...
yeah, we do.
Go on.
No, I just wanted to say we do see the Jaegers, but what did you?
I was going to say, I thought you had better unit control over your coffee and stuff like that. But yeah, the coffee
out of Age of
micros.
Empires 3, I'm really bad at micro.
In IRL micro is not your thing. Couple of hussars raiding the coin. This is a consistent theme from Snow, just constantly raiding and being where just whenever there's not a fight, focusing on raids. Is going to trade off, I think, all the hussars for it though. So was it really worth it? And I think the answer is no, it wasn't. Yeah, every hussar goes down. War wagon's very, very strong there. He killed, I think one, maybe 2 villagers, but probably not worth losing 1,000 resource of hussars for those villi kills in the middle of the map there. You do have to be very careful. But looks like Snow going to move out across the map here. He's going to move over towards where he's gathering food, but the food runs out just as he arrives.
Highlanders. I'm not sure about that. Did he ship them after he saw Jaegers? Probably not, I guess. So, but I don't know how much I like Highlanders against Skirm or Wagon here. Doesn't feel too good here.
Ah, there they are. I don't know. Oh, I never saw them arrive. Huh.
It still feels like LordRaphael could win the next fight, just because Snow has been giving quite a bit of free kills here. And if he's not very careful, he's going to lose his second Falconet for free. And that is just awkward.
Yeah, but
although he does kill some
he's killing there's a ton of Vils up there. Actually, they're going to get away because he needs to be in the fight here. But Longbows and Highlanders very strong against War Wagons here, and now the Hussars coming in on top. But I don't think there's enough cav here to really do enough. He's got 5 more cav in the fight. They need to be joining. But I think he's taken the fight without enough cav.
He just forgot about half of his hussars in the back. That's so sad for him. But he's got more on the way in the choke here on the left. So I think at the end of the day, Brits is still gonna clean this fight up, or at least get a really good trade, I think. But he just could have got such a better trade by just bringing all the Huss at once, But still, the longbows are just tearing through the war wagons. War wagons don't have cav combat. The British cav is upgraded, and he's gonna clean this up. And then what is left for Germany? I mean, he's got almost half the eco. He's got no more unit shipments, so it's gonna be GG here.
Yeah, Snow picking up the second victory there of the game, evening the score out to 1-1. Nicely done. It looked kind of sketchy for him at points in that game, but LordRaphael didn't manage to punish those cannons, and didn't actually end up winning, I suppose. Yeah, Snow. And now, I suppose you're going to clean up that coffee.
Yeah, I have to be right back for a couple of minutes. See you soon.
Yeah, no worries. I'll see you in a sec. But yeah, well done to Snow. This is already shaping up to be a really nice series. I'm quite impressed with the raiding from both players. It's just so many villagers going down all game long. So when there's nothing sort of happening, they're always still being very active. That's villager count. Let's go to villager population there. Just constant raids from green and blue. Always it dips in the villages here. And actually this graph's struggling to sort of get up. It's mostly staying sort of stagnant there. We will expect to see British a bit further ahead, though, in terms of all resources gathered, and that is really manifesting itself at the towards the end of the game there, where British, kind of finished their mana boom, nearly 180 population and things like that. But the next map will, of course, be Thar Desert. Both Deccan and New England have been vetoed. So Thar Desert could be quite a fast, aggressive game. Ham was asking me what the most interesting map is, and I do think Deccan and New England are very interesting. It's a shame they've been vetoed. The players don't want to play those today, but I think Thar Desert can be an exceptionally fun and interesting map. It's very fast, very aggressive, and you just see these very small plays making the difference in these sort of very constant, very small engagements, and I'm interested to see what civilizations they'll pick on that map. But yes, the score is 1-1, as you can see. This is shaping up nicely. We're now in the lobby, everybody. And we'll see what civilizations are looked at next. Thar Desert, in case they've forgotten, but I'm sure they've got things planned for this. We can hear Kaiser in the background cleaning up his coffee. Whoopsie. That was a great game, Marco Cosmos, yeah. And I see all the GGs coming in now. I really like that, typing GG at the end of the game. It's like really fun to see in the Twitch chat. But that was, quite a good game, actually. I just want to tell everybody who may be listening on my YouTube channel, if you are listening, do come and follow us on Escape AoE. This YouTube stream is not a regular thing. We're only going to be streaming this one series, but there will be more series today. So if you would like to see second series after this one, you do need to come and follow us on Twitch and watch over there. But
all right,
yes, thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. Looks like Kaiser is back. The Thar Desert will be the next map, and both players, Kaiser, are still on the same civilizations that they were in the previous game here. So we've not missed any action or any civ selections just yet. LordRaphael does get to pick afterwards, though, so it's kind of to him, his advantage, so to speak.
Yeah, Thar Desert is not an easy map when it comes to picking civ, I guess. Although, I guess in a way it's kind of easy because so few civs are viable that you don't have lots of choices. But for these kind of players, it's not that easy because no trading post map with low resources doesn't really suit their playstyle so much. Like it's some IFF kind of stuff or Brits for snow. So I guess they will have to pick something like India or Russia, maybe Aztecs, which they are. Well, LordRaphael is quite comfortable with Russia, to be fair, and they're both rather comfortable with India as well. So maybe we're gonna see something like that.
Yeah, I just want to point out we're actually very, very close to 500 viewers. We'd really, really like to get to 500 viewers or more. That would be a record for the Escape stream, streaming Age of Empires 3. So we'd really, really like to see that. If you are watching on YouTube, just open up Twitch in a separate tab, something like that. That would be really, really helpful. And do follow us there as well, because as I said, we're not going to be streaming on YouTube very often. This is more of a sort of one-off thing. But Snow, picking Russia. That will be locked in. He cannot change his civilization. Let's confirm.
Directly India coming in from LordRaphael because it's just such a good matchup for India.
Yeah. But Russia, a civ that I know King Eric, aka Snow, is very strong with. We've seen him play it a lot in previous tournaments and perform very well with. I think Russia can still do okay, but you can't be letting India get too many Gurkhas and Zambaraks, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I guess the good thing is that this map has such low resources that you have a chance to maybe contain India. Like they're gonna have to push out rather soon, not super soon because they're still India, so their villagers don't cost food, so they're gonna be able to stay a little bit more in their base. But yeah, you have a shot at trying to contain them, like just rushing, doing some damage and then containing them. But I think a good India player should still win it rather easily. We'll see though.
We will click in here. I mean, we've seen games before, Russia versus India, and the India player went very heavy on the Sawar and Sepoy, and it sort of didn't work out. Didn't abuse the fact that you get those sort of Fortress Age style units in the colonial age. But we'll see what Russia has in mind. I think he's going to have to be very aggressive here, and the Thar Desert is absolutely a good map to be doing that on. Otherwise, India could have quite a strong matchup if this goes into the late game. But ladies and gentlemen, this is game number 3 in a best-of-7 series between LordRaphael and Snow. The winner of this series will qualify for the Escape LAN event in July. and we'll bring them to the studio to compete on the stage. This is the final qualification series from the upper bracket. There are 4 more qualifications after this one in the lower bracket here. Let's start with LordRaphael in the color red, playing as India. Possibly has the civilization advantage here, but can he survive the early game? That is the question. Russia, very potent, very aggressive. Let's see if he can do that. Has a 50 wood treasure in base and a 20 coin as well. That's going to be nice. Going to be able to take down that line very quickly. And the wood, exceptionally good for India because their villages, of course, cost wood. But Snow on the right-hand side of the map. In the color green, here he is playing as the Russians. He's going to pick up a 30 coin treasure immediately there. And I wonder if he'll go for a market. The coin and the extra wood could make that possible, but that really would slow his aggression down. Not something I would cancel out, but look over here. He's going to find himself 85 wood. In fact, both players, I think, quite close to that.
Yeah.
Going to go for it.
Well, one thing I think we should talk about is the fact that this was a wood start, which is just so much better for India. Because it's going to be aging up significantly faster, and especially in this matchup, it's a big deal. No, I don't think LordRaphael actually saw that treasure, right?
No, I don't think so. So he's going to get that. Yeah,
just like on Baja, he barely didn't see it, and now, I would definitely go for a market because all Snow has to do is get an extra 20 coin, and he's doing that and dropping a market now because it doesn't really slow you down when you get your hunting dogs. Obviously, you will have less wood for your blockhouse, but you will gather food faster. So, and you anyway want to get your market up at some point, and you will not have to do it later. So it's just good at this point to get hunting dogs in the market.
Yeah, that's really nice from Snow. But likewise, a 90 wood treasure that LordRaphael will also get. So very even so far in terms of treasures. And I think LordRaphael are going to be pleased to see this after noticing that Snow got the quite good treasure as well. So both players going to have a nice big wood treasure here. But LordRaphael, Snow does get the hunting dogs and market there. I really like this. Look, this is absolutely ideal, this gathering in his base. The villagers gathering from hunts directly under the TC. As soon as the village spawns, he starts gathering. Almost no gather time being wasted, no walking time at all. Really spot on there from Snow.
But look also at LordRaphael's macro. He's got literally no wood in bank after picking up the 90 wood. So he just gathered 10 wood to be able to cure an extra villager. He's got 2 villas in cure right now, and he's just gathering food towards the age up. And that is what I mean, with the wood start plus the 50 wood plus his wood treasures, you see India going to be able to click up so early. It's just so good for India. Usually, you see them chopping wood until I don't know when because they need to keep making villas. And here, he just didn't have to chop anything for a very long time. And now he's dropping his Agra fort so early. And that is just going to be really hard for Russia to do some damage early on with such a quick age up from India. But we'll see what he can do.
It's definitely looking good for Raphael, and the betting is reflecting that as well. Currently, 1.5 minutes remaining on the clock there. LordRaphael with 83% of the bets, and Snow only 22% of them, Kaiser. So it looks like the chat is favoring LordRaphael as well here, although it's starting to shift in Snow's direction, but by not very much. Is there a 60 food treasure on the floor? But Russia's going in and picks it up right from under his nose. After, lol coming out. Oh my goodness, I guess he just didn't shift-click to pick the treasure up, but 60 food going to Snow, and he needs that, I think. All the advantages he can get. $25 coming from Warno AoE. Don't let Kaiser near the computers at the LAN with a drink. That's right, Warno. we don't want you spilling coffee on our PCs, Kaiser.
I don't think I'll be drinking stuff when I'm playing tournament, but yeah.
We'll have a separate table set up. It'll be called Kaiser's Drink Stand, and we'll put your coffee over there. But LordRaphael, here's the He's scouted the blockhouse. He's with his elephant, very low HP elephant, but he sees it. And this is quite a nice placement from Snow. He's sort of very diligent in where he wants to place things, on top of 3 elephants and a copper mine there as well. It does look like the blockhouse goes down. Let's switch over to units in queue, which are already on. And I'm sure we'll see Musketeers go in queue as soon as he gets the gold. He's not quite there yet, or perhaps he's going to get Strelets. I think that's more likely off his wood count that he's gathering. 10 Strelets in queue. Back at home,
usually you want to go straight at and 5 Cossacks in this matchup, because India is not very likely to get Sowars early on. Even if they do ship Sowars, you have 5 Cossacks anyway, and they are better. And Strats are just much better at idling and tanking than, tanking TC fire and Agra fire than Musketeers. So, I do expect to see Strats. Also, there's 2 sepoys always from India, so the Strats are nice to snap them. And we do see them going forward, and I expect 5 Cossacks to pop anytime as well.
Yeah, Strelets have arrived. They're now coming forward. There's the Cossacks that you mentioned. There's a villager on the Agra fort. Their Agra fort takes a shot at the Strelets, but the Strelets not going to kill a villager just yet. The Agra fort area damage is, I think, actually quite strong here against the Strelets. But really nice herding from LordRaphael. Isn't going to get any villager kills. Maybe the Cossacks plus a Strelet does pick up one. Nice there. Sentries being forced as well. And going to try and get away from them and kite them.
Snow, kind of a bad sentry pop here, I think, from LordRaphael. And he keeps chasing, but he's got nothing, really. I don't know why he's being so aggressive with his stuff, because he's got just 2 sepoys and they're going to die. He's lost his elephant, he's lost his sentries, he's lost the villager. And now he's popping 2 Gorkhas, but got nothing to cover them. Looking kind of sloppy here from LordRaphael, actually. And I mean, you kind of expect Russia to be stronger early on, of course, but that is kind of a lot of damage done from Snow here. Might force LordRaphael to ship something like 4 Sowars next.
Yeah, just to try and defend against these Strelets here. It looks like he's picked up, certainly, 1 monk there, the other monk dead over here. And let's switch on over to units lost and just recap how many vills went down. 2 Indian villagers were killed there. So I think Snow actually going to be quite pleased with that pressure. Especially since he forced
that was
sentries.
A really good pressure. Look at the scores.
And even using stagger mode just for the extra spacing against the Agra fort. That's really, really diligent of him here. Trying to come in.
And Snow felt like...
And another villager.
And usually you kind of sit back and contain because you can't do too much damage against India, but since the first push went so well, he just shipped 4 Cossacks in the back of it, and I really like it.
Sowars do arrive though, but thankfully there are a couple of Musketeers go straight into hand combat there, and it looks like that will be enough to sort of force them away.
Why is LordRaphael even trying to go in with his Sowars? I mean, there's even 2 Cossacks left and 5 more musts on the way now. There's no way India can kill this army. He might be able to scare him away, hopefully, but I don't know. He's sending his Sowar in now, which is probably a mistake because they are just gonna die. Although they do kill lots of Streelets, but meanwhile India is totally idled. He's gathering almost nothing and calling his second and last batch of Minutemen until he gets the Ottoman concept at least. It's looking really dicey for LordRaphael here.
Yeah, 3 villagers gone down and quite a few military units as well. Another villager being picked up.
Maybe one more there. No.
And the Agra fort does manage to get in there. He's going to kill off this final Gurkha by the looks of it. And it looks like Snow in a very solid position despite the betting standings and perhaps everybody's thoughts on this matchup. Pardon me, that was a burp. Oh my goodness. I don't know where that came from, but Snow, it looks like though Snow going to follow this up with a stable, and he is in a very solid position, I think.
Yeah, I think now it's the point where he's just really, really happy about the amount of damage he's done. And he just doesn't want to go all in with 13 Strelets because you kind of want to keep at least 1 unit shipment for later if you need it. And he just sits back, takes control of the map with another blockhouse on the southern part of the map and a stable. Maybe getting more market upgrades. Yeah, he's getting steel traps just now, just setting up for a little bit more of the middle game. And just going to be probably poking here, forcing some idle time. And just a really solid spot for Snow to be in. And we have to question this wood trickle card from India first. It's not the first time I see this in this matchup, and I wonder why go for the wood trickle, because you're gonna get rushed. So why not something like 300 export, which allows you at least to get the Ottoman Minutemen if you need them, or 3 Hussars from the consulate, something like that, while also allowing you to get 4 Ottoman villagers later. So
Yeah.
I feel like 300 export is a solid card, but the wood trickle is just
It's very
so
strong.
greedy.
Right? The wood trickle's very good, but it is very greedy, and perhaps with all this pressure coming that you expect from Russia. But look, 5 Gurkha. Now we see 4 Cossacks on top of them there, and no anti-cav just yet. And remember, the centuries, or they've been called already. A couple more Gurkha coming out, but now that the stable is down, and now that we're able to get Cossacks in here, massing Gurkha is kind of troublesome. Ottoman Minutemen are called, but not before all of the Gurkhas go down here. I think the Minutemen and the TC and Agrifire will force Russia out at the base, but he's gotten another exceptional trade, and I don't know how many more of those LordRaphael, the Indian player, can afford to take. All the Minutemen going
to be
down
honest,
now.
I'm not sure why he decides to fight the Minutemen here. He lost, like, he fights Minutemen and then goes back, which kind of makes no sense, because you could just go back and then come back when Minutemen have low HP. But anyway, he does idle India a lot, and well, it's just kind of over already. Even in the economic unit population, Russia has already caught up in eco, and he's gonna keep outscaling India from now on. India also got the 3 Hussars from the consulate, so he's not gonna be able to get the villagers just now. So yeah, Russia definitely gonna be ahead, and I don't know what India does at this point. He's trying to get a stable up, but it's denied, and he's resigning. GG.
GG. Looks like Snow picks up the second game for himself there. Looks like he's now got 2 wins on the board, despite the matchup. Lots of people in the chat have just lost a ton of points. Well done to you guys that voted on Snow there. But Snow pulling ahead in the series here with a poor matchup. Let's take a quick look at the post game. And we see in the early game a couple of villages going down there. But all resources gathered, just India kind of stagnating as there are so many villagers constantly in the TC. And then Russia in the late game, he gets his steel traps in. And at the very end, and we can see just starting to get more and more villagers, that Russia villager bonus coming in strong. But ultimately, just a really nice pressure from Snow, doing lots of damage in that early game, and then following it up with Cossacks from the stable.
Yeah, if you look at the military graph, it's very simple. Like, Snow is just constantly very ahead in militaries. There's not one time where it came, where it was remotely close in military. Like, always Snow like 20 pop-up units ahead or something like that. So just snowballing this early pressure into a win, like just keeping India pressured all the time. And yeah, that was well played from Snow. Maybe a little bit sloppy from LordRaphael, but we can't really blame him, because it's always easier to be the one rushing, right? And I guess if you fail at start like LordRaphael did, then you're behind, and it's really hard to come back against a civ like Russia. But that is gonna be so nice for Snow. Russia is not one of his main civs. He can play them quite well, but it's not like Germany or France, for example. So he's getting like Thar out of the way, winning with Russia, and now we're gonna be back to the I guess to the TP maps where he can play like Germany and France, and he's gonna be very comfortable with that. So really good game here from Snow, I think.
Yeah,
really good win.
That's a good point to bring up. We're now going back to that sort of pace of play that they're used to, right? With trading posts, and France and Germany going to be strong again. And those are the civs that these players are sort of known for. We are hosting up the lobby, and we'll be in next. Let's take a look at the map pool and see what is in store. New England and Deccan skipped, vetoed. I think much to the disappointment of the viewer. Those maps, some of the more fun ones, I think, that people like to watch. But High Plains also, you can have a lot of action very early with those trading posts. Advanced trading post is a thing. And getting the stagecoach, people contesting those age ones over it. After that, Fertile Crescent. Fertile Crescent's a really nice map as well. I like how all the hunts are separated on the left and right. And being on both sides can be quite challenging, and controlling that map can be, since it is so sort of big and wide. And then, of course, Pampas Sierras, another non-TP map in Florida to finish out with as well. But the score is 2-1. I think LordRaphael obviously will be hoping to pick up another victory very soon. Not because, well, obviously he needs to win the series overall if he is to qualify, but letting your opponent get too far ahead can be, you know, a bit of a... It's if you can keep the series even, it always feels like both players have more motivation and morale and etc. etc.
Just feels bad to be down 3-1 in a best of 7, and so he doesn't have to win just now, but it would be really nice for him for sure. And I think we are gonna. It's Fertile Crescent now, right?
It's not Fertile Crescent. It's
oh, whoops.
I did just say the map. I can't remember what it was. It's High Plains. Yeah, there it is. I knew it was High Plains. 150 bits from Sundanchez. Cheers, PogChamp. 150 series, PogChamp series. That's right. I can read, but it will be High Plains. We know this. Okay,
I wonder what Snow is gonna pick there.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun.
Is it gonna be more of a standard like Germany or France, which do quite well in High Plains, or is he gonna try to adapt a bit more to the map with something like, well, Spain, Portuguese, or Otto, for example, that can really take the control of the trading post line? We'll have to wait and see, I guess. He might be typing with someone or just thinking, because he's not like, or maybe he's just AFK for a while. But I'm very curious to see what Snow will pick.
I mean, one of the key things, I'm not sure about Snow, but certainly LordRaphael, is that between every game he likes to take sort of 15 minutes to decide what to do. He, well, maybe not that long, but he does take a long time. LordRaphael is like traditionally always...
Yeah. He does like to take his time to pick a CF.
But it is on Snow to pick first here.
Yeah. So I guess we're gonna wait for him to come back, and I'm gonna get a coffee because I wasn't able to drink a single drop of the previous one. So
oh, no.
I swear it was full, and I just spilled it all on the floor. Okay, I'll be right back in 30 seconds.
Okay, no worries. But we have broken the 500 viewer mark, currently 505 on my screen. So thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. That's a new record for the Escape channel, streaming Age of Empires 3. And we're really, really pleased with that, actually. We're really hoping we could get to 500 viewers. So that's a lot of fun. I think the record for Age of Empires 3, I think, is just over 1,000 on the official Age of Empires Twitch channel, back when we streamed the very first ESOC tournament with that grand finals, Black Star versus H2O. And I think the record for ESOC is somewhere like 650, but I'm not sure on the details. But either way, we're very pleased. Thank you very much. And if you're following on YouTube, if you're watching on my YouTube channel, do follow us on Twitch, as you'll only be able to watch this series on YouTube. This is not a regular thing, but we do want to get this game some exposure. It is, of course, a very, very interesting one. The winner will qualify for the LAN. Snow versus LordRaphael. Looks like Snow has selected ports. I'll say High Plains in the chat again, because we're still on the Thar Desert there. But I assume this pick is for the High Plains. Makes a lot of sense. Snow does have ATP when you play as Portuguese. That is a card that they can send. And now it is on LordRaphael to pick against it. LordRaphael, he did play as Germany, but he's not won with it yet, so could well see Germans from him. I think that's a strong civ that can perform well on High Plains. It doesn't take super huge advantage of the trade route, but it doesn't need to. And I wonder if that's a civ he'll sort of want to play here.
Yeah, I'm back, and I think he could definitely go Germany. because they just do well against ports overall. And even if ports goes ATP, you can kind of ignore the TP line. I mean, you just take one or hopefully two TPs, but you don't try to siege down his TPs. And you usually just like go for a naked FF or something like that and just push his base, because if he goes for ATP, he's going to be a little bit slower at one point in the game, and then you can be even more aggressive. So Germany could totally be a good pick here, yeah. But then again, he could also be France, he could be Spain, would do pretty well here. There's lots of options, could even auto on this map, I believe. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, and I think all of those are civilizations that LordRaphael is comfortable with. We've been seeing a lot of Sioux on this map as well, although that may be because by the time we get to this map in most series, we are sort of getting towards the end of most players' civ pools, and the Sioux, as you've been saying, is just a strong civ at the moment, something that people want to play anyway. I'm not sure.
He could still Sioux, that's true, actually.
Yeah, it would still be strong here. LordRaphael didn't win with Sioux, that was Snow, so Snow can't play Sioux.
Yeah. Yeah, and like we saw in the Soldier against the Aruga series, you can also, hopefully on this map, get a Renegado. There's like a couple treasures with Renegado Treasure Guardians, and then you can most likely deny the TP line. So it's a very big deal, and we'll have to see, I guess. But like you said, LordRaphael likes to take his time to pick a civ, so we might have to wait a little bit more.
Yeah, this is classic Raphael. He always likes to... I imagine he, plans out every possible permutation with every civ before clicking into a matchup. I imagine he's no one's heard him speak before, and no one's seen him before either. He's probably some sort of supercomputer that just sort of plans out the matchup. He plays it in his mind, right? Just sort of testing the waters before he clicks into the real game.
Right. Or maybe he's just throwing some dice and just randomly picking a civ.
He's got a D14. I think he's putting more... If that's the way he's selecting his civ, then he's taking a very long time to roll these bloody dice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was thinking about something else, but I don't know how you call it in English. This kind of game the kids play where you sing a song and then at the end you select something,
Yeah, hopscotch. Or...
But yeah, for 10 minutes or something like that.
Oh,
super
like the eeny, meeny, miny, mo, that one.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But now, seriously though, I think he just has to also consider the next maps, because when you win with a civ, you can't use it anymore, and it's even more punishing in this format than when you have the civ reset. So he really has to think twice before picking a civ, because of course you're always happy to win with a civ, but it's better if you can win with one civ on one map and keep a civ for another map maybe. So he has to consider all the possibilities, I guess.
Yeah, let's switch over to the civ selection screen actually, and we can also consider that. So up next, he could well play Germany on High Plains, right? It's a civ that he's strong with, but maybe he wants to save Germany for perhaps Fertile Crescent next. Or perhaps even Florida after that. Yeah,
Germany is very good on Fertile Crescent, usually. Unless you're against a very aggressive civ, again, because you don't have a second gold mine in base. But it's a rather good map for Germany overall. So I guess he could want to keep Germany for something else. But the other thing to keep in mind is that he's behind. So maybe his priority is to win now, because he's behind 2-1 and he wants to come back. So I don't know. It's very hard to say what he's going to be. Yeah. Could be France as well, or like Sioux, France, Auto, Spain, Germany. There's lots of possibilities here.
Yeah, but for those tuning in, those are the...
Sioux. Wait.
Ah, okay. We're going to see the Portuguese mirror. But yes, that's as you can see on the screen, what we've seen so far this tournament. But LordRaphael has selected Portuguese in response to his opponent's Portuguese. He's comfortable to do the mirror. Perhaps LordRaphael knows that, Port's a strong civ on High Plains and would prefer to just mirror. I think LordRaphael fancies himself as the stronger player mechanically. And
I guess he just feels like he's going to be better in this matchup because usually when you're counter picking, there's no real reason to go for a mirror because you can most of the time find a better matchup than just a mirror, like a matchup where you can abuse the weakness of the other Civ, which obviously you can't do in a mirror.
Yeah.
But I guess he's just very confident, so we'll have to see what he can do in this game.
Yeah. I mean, I think Snow, much more of a team game player, right? He plays a lot of Supremacy 3v3s. But LordRaphael, I think, a lot more practiced in 1v1, and perhaps mirrors are just something he wants to take. And we've seen several players go down that route. Maybe that's what he's thinking here.
Eric did win the last seasonal ESOC tournament, so he's a bit of a team player. But I mean, he won a 1v1 tourney, like he's definitely no
He's
joke
no
or
stranger.
something. Like,
I'm not saying that is the case, but LordRaphael has won more tournaments, hasn't he? Perhaps, but we do have a subscription coming in from Du Badlongi, maybe Bajoli NL. Yes, thank you very much for the subscription there. But the game has started. In the south of the map, in the color green, we do have Snow playing as the Portuguese. There's a 200 wood start in base 50 coin, and to the south there, 30 coin. But going to ignore both. The Explorer going to get out on the map right away and head straight towards the TPs. They're going to build this mid-map one. There should be enough time to get that up before the TP guy passes, but he has to... No, gonna go for the one at the very top there, which I think should give him about the same amount of time, perhaps, as well, and it is being on the end is perhaps easier to defend. He's going to place that down. His opponent not going to go for a TP.
Sorry to cut you, but can you toggle on the Fog of War? I think they have line of sight of the TPs because you're maybe Aztecs.
Ah. That is...
I don't know how relevant that is, but they shouldn't have line of sight of the trading post, right?
What do you want to do?
I don't know. It's up to you. I don't think we have to rehouse for that. I just wanted to point it out because it's strange. But I guess we're just gonna keep going. I don't know.
I think we'll keep going. But yeah, I should not be playing as the Aztecs. That is true.
Because he might have seen that food treasure thanks to the line of sight of the trading post. You know, that's a bit unfortunate, but. I don't know. It's not my tournament. I don't want to call anything, so it's up to you.
Because
if you found the 130 food thanks to the TP line of sight, it's kind of big, really.
No.
No. It didn't. Wait, what? I saw you type only you didn't, or did you type something else? I don't... Wait, let me...
No.
Okay, then I don't...
Are you
okay.
Ready? Yes.
I guess we see your line of sight as well, and I thought that would be their line of sight. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought as well. I mean, when you play a team game with the Observer UI, you do spawn on the same team as the players. But I think actually we're a free-for-all, so we don't have line of sight. But regardless, you shouldn't be using native civs in Observer mode by the looks of it here.
Yeah,
but everything
that's just why, because it says you shouldn't use native civs, so I thought that is the reason. Maybe it gives them line of sight, but if it doesn't, then I guess it's not a big deal. So yeah, just never mind.
Yeah. Okay, seems fine. Crisis averted. Everybody, do not worry. Everything's fine. But yes, 140 food going to LordRaphael. He's going to be quite pleased with that. It's a really nice big treasure to pick up. But Snow also getting 80 food. We didn't see that get picked up, but it was something he got. And now coming back for the 50 coin and 30 in base as well. I don't know if he got the pass on his TP there. I think he did, just judging from the big jump and gap in between and how much quicker his shipment came in than his opponent. So he must have gotten the first pass as well. But both players going to go for ATP, which I often find quite, there's a lot of trading posts on this map. So, okay, sure. ATP very strong, but when you both go for it, perhaps it's better to maybe only one of you go for it, because you don't want to be contesting both sets of trading posts when both of you are going for them, if that sort of makes sense.
Yeah, it's always a little bit awkward when boss players go ATP. No matter how big the TP line is, even if it's 5, it's still kind of awkward. And I don't know, it's just that LordRaphael is aging up way, way, way earlier because he didn't chop for a TP, and he got 130 food. You can see it's insane. Like, he's almost up already, and Snow barely started aging. And as a result, LordRaphael is just gonna grab so many more TPs. And plus, Snow shipped ATP after building 1, which is a little bit awkward because he paid 200 wood for a TP and instead of 120 wood. And at the end of the day, Snow is going to build only 1 advanced trading post.
Yeah,
that is just so sad.
The other one does get the ranged attack, but not the extra HP, which I've always found weird. No other card functions like that. But regardless, yeah, this TP not going to get the HP boost from the card since the card arrived after it was built. But yeah, his opponent getting 3 and him only 2. But it's still early days, but certainly a good start for LordRaphael. And now working on this treasure as well, 210 XP there. Looks like the foundation of LordRaphael going to be placed on the TP route, sort of in the middle of the map there. Give him some control over these 2 hunts and indeed the trade route as well. And Snow will be following up just behind, is going up later, although both players did get a similar food treasure. One got 130 food, obviously better, and the other 80 food here for Snow. But I think the difference being he chopped that for a house because he built a trading post, and that's really what delayed him quite a lot, whereas his opponent sort of waited to build the trading posts during transition after ATP. But looks like a barracks going to go up behind LordRaphael's barracks, town center rather, and Snow going to place his next to this hunt here. Not too far forward, but certainly just in front of his base to give him some extra control over this mine and hunt and safety, etc., etc. But LordRaphael off to a good start and is up first. 700 food coming down as his first shipment to keep the Vils in queue, and indeed train some musketeers, I expect, as well at that barracks. Actually, pikemen going to come out of that barracks.
Yeah, it's just such a good start for LordRaphael. And I think he's training pikemen because he knows that he's aging up way earlier, and he can't afford to start pikemen while still matching the musketeer count or whatever unit they decide to train after that, just because he's up way earlier. And I don't know. I just don't see. I don't see Snow winning that. I don't want to call GG. Of course, it's super early, but it's just such a good start for LordRaphael. And also because he's up so early, he's training more villas from this extra TC, and you can see he's already like 1 villager ahead as well, or 2 even. So it's just like so many small things snowballing, like aging up earlier, getting units out earlier,
and
having
look
3
at this
training
as well.
posts to 2.
Using his pikemen,
Yeah.
this is tagged as cavalry, so the pikemen are really strong against the Treasure Guardian as well. He's going to pick himself up 210 XP, the rare black-footed ferret, and that is a super strong start. He's going to have lots and lots of XP here, shipments for days. Really, really nice. And 10 pikes now are going to contest this ATP trade post, which is basically next to him. And I don't think there's anything Snow can do. First 5 musks now entering the game. He was up quite a lot later than his opponent, so he's not had as much time to be in Colonial to actually train units here. Musks coming forward. Perhaps he's going to siege down this trading post, but with just the 5 musketeers, that'll be really hard. So probably not going to do that. Pikeman much more adept for sieging. Just coming out with the musks here, but I don't know if he's going to get too much done. He sees there's pikemen sieging his trading post, so I suppose he knows it's okay for his musketeers to go to his opponent's base. They're not really threatened by anything like that, so can come over. Perhaps he'll get a Vil kill. That's really what he needs to stay to keep up with LordRaphael. Let's see if he can get that.
It's just a typical Snow playstyle where he likes to just raid a lot, no matter what kind of matchup and what kind of units he has. And especially here when he's behind already, he wants to raid. And yeah, he's getting a bit caught here. Gonna lose a musketeer, but he's forcing the units back to some extent. But meanwhile, he lost the trading post, and LordRaphael researched Stagecoach already. So I don't know what you do here, Snow. Really, it's
Oh,
so
look at
tough. Like
this, and
this start
splitting
was
up the
just so
pikemen
bad
as
for
well.
Snow.
He's going to try and catch those musks, get the snare in, and he's going to do it.
Yeah.
And they're going to get cleaned up here by these crossbows. There are a couple of musks nearby. Perhaps they can shoot at the musks whilst these guys tank. But no, actually, you could see him double backing. He wasn't sure if he wanted to do that, but he's going to lose his 5 musks and didn't manage to kill a villager for it either. He's sending 8 crossbowmen here just to keep up in military unit count, but I don't know. I think it's not looking good for
LordRaphael
him.
is aging.
Oh, wow.
So that's why Snow is ahead in military, and he does have hussars and musketeers, which are just a bit stronger than crossbows and pikes. And then 8 crossbow shipment as well for Snow. So there's probably going to be a small window where he can try to do some damage. But I mean, what is he going to do? Probably get 1 TP down and rebuild it. And then LordRaphael is going to be up, and he's going to have dragoons and castadors. He's going to defend this easily. So
Yeah, he's idling a lot of vills, though. 25 vills in that TC, and these hussars just keeping them all sort of stuck in there. And he is going to take down this trading post. I don't think it's going to go down in time for the stagecoach. No, he's going to get that final pass, which will be annoying. But at least he gets to take this out, and perhaps he can build one of his own, and then he can start benefiting from the stagecoach. And 3-2 isn't too bad. Does pick up a vill here, and idling more. There are 2 inside there. Looks like, though, the pikes and crossbowmen are going to come back home.
He came like 2 seconds after the TC wagon popped, and he didn't see it. But I was like, oh my god, is he gonna kill it? That would be a way to come back in the game, I guess, just getting a TC down by killing the wagon. But like right now, well, I guess we have to see what Snow can do with his units. If he can snowball this little mass of units into like winning a fight,
getting a big
I guess
pickup
then
here.
He's coming back.
This is nice, killing up some crossbows. And he's got a lot of stuff here, forcing Minutemen. And 8 Castadors arriving at the same time, though, and that's going to be enough, I think, to repel Snow out of his base. Really nice pop
and
there.
Dragoons. 5 dragoons in queue gonna pop any time, and then what do you do as Snow to beat this
But look
army?
at that, he's dealt with the pikemen. Really nice micro running them around. And now these Castadors, really, really low hit points. No melee resist. And gonna get absolutely slashed. He really needs those dragoons you're talking about. They do pop out in time to save the Castadors, though. And that's going to spell
nice
the end.
Here.
Yeah,
nice split, killing 3 hearts in 1 volley, and now Snow kind of really committed to this push. Now he's going to have the resources to age up soon, but he did train extra batches of units even after LordRaphael was up, because he felt like he really needed to make something happen. He had the right idea, right? Like, I'm behind, I need to make something happen now. I'm going to stay colonial, make more units, try to get a good trade. But he was just so behind that I think LordRaphael just comes out on top, and Snow is starting to age now, but he didn't even retake that TP here, so LordRaphael is going to be able to take it. Snow might not even be able to place his 3rd town center out on the map, while LordRaphael has so much map control. All these things just making it really hard for Snow here. He's going to have to raid a lot and do that kind of stuff if he wants to win this game, but for now, look at the scores. I mean,
yeah, LordRaphael, 20 points up and some. But he's going to, these 5 Huss are going to find some vills, but so the Dragoons, they're going to clean them up. Does pick up 2 villages here, but losing a lot for it, paying through the nose. And now LordRaphael coming in on the side as well. Snow is up to the next age. The TC wagon pops and is trying to get down to the south of the map to secure hunt and mines. But it's,
and he's killing
really...
like 3 vills here as well. And he's gonna get his wagon out. That's one good thing. LordRaphael decided to kill the 3 vills and not to try to find the TC wagon, but now he might. He's going everywhere on the map with units here also as well, or maybe he's just trying to catch the raid. I'm not sure, but also like just he's not gonna find the TC wagon, so that's good for Snow. But still, he's so far behind in military, and 8
Castadors.
Raphael has to control the TP line. He's gonna buy some time here with the Castadors. Gonna push.
And the Minutemen as well. Cords of 1,000 wood coming out. In terms of units lost, though, I think obviously Snow has bled out more units. Not ideal. But villagers quite even. Both have lost, about 5 each. I think 4 to Snow, 5 to Raphael. Actually now 6 to LordRaphael. There's a stray villager coming forward. So Snow is ahead in terms of raiding, and as a result is 2 villagers up. We can see there. Let's take a look at the military units. Yeah, 13... Actually, Snow not doing... He's got 13 Cazador. His opponent only on 5, but Red does have significantly more Dragoons here. And is going to stop this ATP from going up as well. He's got a lot of Cazador, so going to be able to force these Dragoons away. But if he loses his own Explorer, he won't be able to place the foundation. The Red Explorer's still up there. He just needs to focus it down before it finishes. It does go up, though.
LordRaphael has just so many more units, regardless of the unit kind. You know, it's... Well, it's good trades here for Snow, though. He's doing a good job kiting and sniping goons one by one, and that is good for Snow, but still, he's just... I'm sorry, I'm a bit pessimistic, but he's just so far behind. Like, he's more than 20 score behind. He has no map and everything, but he does his best to keep maybe raiding, although now he stopped a little bit, but he's knowing Snow, he will start raiding again very soon.
But he's
more villagers going.
He's doing all right. He's killed like quite a few villages, and another one dies just behind.
Yeah, but he's still 1 vill behind, and 3 TPs behind, and map control
4
as
TPs
well.
behind. It's going to be really hard to take out the ATPs. They've so much health. 2 organ guns coming in. That's what he needs to deal with them. But I think LordRaphael turning his advantage, he's going to use it to send 1,000 wood and just secure an even bigger advantage. Look at that. Using the 1,000 wood to build an arsenal here. Let's take a look at Tech TBR. Yeah, placer mines coming in, just finishing off those upgrades with the wood that he sort of never got the opportunity to do earlier. An outpost coming down with that wood, being super careful, just doesn't want to lose for no reason, just going to do things like that. But meanwhile, whilst the units are away, Green coming out, not a lot of siege on the units there, but the organ guns in the back are going to allow him to take, I think, that out. He's going to be able to take down a TP here. And if he can build it himself, perhaps he can get back into this. Mamelukes, though, that is not good.
I was wondering why LordRaphael seemed to have no more military advantage, but here's the answer. He had Mamluks on the way. And that is going to be very tough for Snow. Organ guns obviously being countered by Mams, and just every unit here is going to die.
Yeah,
and
I think
even
that's
saved his TP, so there's nothing anymore to cover the Cazadors from the Mams, and I wouldn't be surprised if Snow calls a GG anytime.
Yeah,
now.
A couple of Dragoons coming out, but handling the Mamelukes is just so hard, especially with Cazador. They're just so bad against melee damage.
Yeah, you need at the very least like 15 Dragoons or something like that to handle the Mamluks with ease. And with 4 Dragoons, there's no way he does anything against them. So yeah,
it looks like they are going to. They are starting to go down, but he's losing a lot of Cazador for it.
He's still got 4 of them though.
Are they all still
like,
alive?
one
Oh god, they
down.
are still alive. I thought it was just the 2. I was like, oh wow, the first one goes down. Look at them, they're just tearing him apart.
It's insane.
They're disgusting. They're absolutely insane. What a ridiculous unit. And remember, this used to be a 5 Mameluke shipment.
Yeah.
On the
and some
RE
people
patch.
complain about it. Some people complain that it got reduced to 4, but I want to say no. It's a really good change because this unit is overpowered, and it's good to have only 4 of them and not 5. But yeah, I don't know what Snow does from here. He's behind in every single aspect. Now, even getting LordRaphael even getting the Goon Combat card. Although he did lose a lot of Cazadors here for some reason to Hassos, but doesn't really matter. And the score gap is getting bigger and bigger. Oh, Mams though!
Oh, he got his own Mams. Hot damn! Here we go. Where did he get the coin from? I wasn't even checking. But and yeah, there's not very. But Snow, he's just gonna show us the Mams just to say this is what I had on the way. But it doesn't actually think he can win the game out with it. It looked for a moment that he might be able to clean up these Cazadors. But he's lost so many villagers, right? Look, 52 to 63, and his opponent has 4 TPs on the route. He knows that he's not going to be able to come back from that. But a valiant effort.
Upgraded Dragoons on the way. LordRaphael even stacking like 2k5 resources basically, so he has lots of spamming potential. He's got full map control. Snow running out of food in the bottom of the map as well, although he has some deers on the left. But yeah, it was a bit of a sad game, to be honest, because I think Snow actually did quite well. He really tried his best to come back, but he just was so behind directly at the start. I think going for the early TP when you're gonna go ATP is just such a big mistake. And then he was also kind of unlucky that LordRaphael got 130 food himself. So both of these things together just mean that Snow was just way, way, way too far behind directly at start. And it was just kind of GG early on, to be honest. So that's unfortunate for Snow, but it's 2-2 now. So
Yeah,
we have a very close series here.
I think it is a very close series, and I think you're somewhat right about the 130 food. But you know, your opponent, his opponent got, I think it was 80 food as well. So they both got a good food treasure. It was just that Snow decided to build that trading post in the Age 1 for whatever reason. But Sundanchez coming in with 350 bits. Mans Kappa. Yeah, they do feel a bit like a joke, don't they? A jokey unit. They are very, very strong. Only Portuguese and the Ottomans have access to the Mameluke unit, though. But yeah, LordRaphael, he does pick up his second victory, and I think he's going to be quite pleased with that. The series goes on. We're expecting it to be close, and the score is now 2-2. Still anyone's game here in this best of 7 series. The next map will be Fertile Crescent. And they still have all of their good civs available to them. I think both Snow, well, he's used up his British, but LordRaphael, he's still got Germany, France. Let's see what they pick.
Yeah, that is a good series for sure. And honestly, I didn't understand when I looked at the betting. I mean the ESOC betting, not the one in the chat. People really were all betting on LordRaphael, like it would be a one-sided series. But I'm happy to see it's a close one. And I'm trying to get in, but there's some poo in there. All right.
You've made it in. Welcome to the exclusive club. The next map will be Pampas Sierras, Fertile Crescent. And LordRaphael will have to pick first.
Yeah,
Let
indeed.
me change my civilization.
I already think we're going to have some Germany now.
I think I have a 131 Spain. I should play that just to show that I'm a big boy. Where is it? Where is my 131 Spain? Oh, I deleted it. I've only got a level 100 Spain now. Oh well. I'll have to get my France to 131.
Oh, you don't have any other 131?
Yeah, I had a level 131 Spain, but it had terrible decks, and instead of fixing it, I just thought, screw this, and deleted it and made a new Spain home city. And just because all the decks were from like Nilla and stuff, and who plays Nilla except Hazza when he gets angry at India?
Right. I wonder why the max level is actually 131. It just makes no sense to me. I mean, it doesn't matter, but it's just so weird, right? Why 131 would be the max level?
I guess because that's how many cards there are for each civ. So that's the reason they decided you can't go above 131. But you could just go higher. It makes functionally no difference, and you can do that on Game Ranger, right? But whatever, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
131
is at all.
It's kind of like a sign of prestige, isn't it? It's like, look at me, I've got my high level home city. You can't get any higher than this. But Snow versus LordRaphael, both still on Portuguese, and both players. This is much different to some of the other series we've seen, where players like Soldier just very confident with their civ picks and pick them right away. Tabin also very confident with his civ picks, but here Snow and LordRaphael, they take their time, they think about it.
Yeah, indeed.
561 viewers. If we can get to 600, that would be very, very impressive. So do stay tuned, guys, or leave us open in a tab if you've got to go make lunch or something. We'd very much like to get to 600. This is quite exciting, and we're really pleased to see this. Looks like LordRaphael will now bring out the big guns. No more messing around. It is time for Germany.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I really expected that. It's kind of a classic pick on Fertile Crescent. And Germany is also a very solid first pick. So so there's that. Now, what is Snow gonna do? He's definitely very comfortable with the German mirror, and he can't pick Brits anymore like he did on Baja. I would personally love to see Otto on this map against Germany, but I don't think Snow actually likes to play Otto. So I bet we're gonna have a mirror. I might be wrong, but I think it's gonna be a German mirror here.
Yeah, I think Snow not gonna want to play a French. I don't know why that's on my mind.
Oh, he could also French, yeah.
Yeah, but Germany versus France always feels a bit meh, especially against the guy that literally wrote the guide on how to play as France versus Germany.
Yeah, that's true, but Snow also has tons of experience playing as France or Germany in either of the matchups, like German mirror, French mirror. Oh no, he can still pick Sioux. That's very good, actually.
Can we take a look at the Civ screen? I just want to double check that.
LordRaphael won with Sioux.
He can still. Snow can play as Sioux, you're right. That is acceptable. We'll allow it.
Yeah, so...
I say we'll allow it as if it's like, yeah, all right, then I'll allow it. No, that is absolutely something you can do.
It's like... It's what I said in the Kamchatka game, you know? Sioux kind of, in my opinion, dominates the semi-FF Civ. It's like, for me, the strongest semi-FF Civ at the moment. It's better than France, it's better than Germany, in my opinion. And you can see here, he can still use it, so he just goes for it. Like, yeah, you're Germany, I'm gonna be Sioux. And I'm gonna have way stronger units than you, and we'll see what you can do. Of course, Germany has other advantages that Sioux doesn't have, but I guess we'll see. It's not a very one-sided matchup, but in my opinion, it's a bit Sioux favored.
All right, and that's probably why Snow is picking it here, and that is kind of his advantage, right? When you get to pick second, that's the advantage you gain. But we're clicking in now to Fertile Crescent. Ladies and gentlemen, Snow versus LordRaphael. This is game number 5 in a best-of-7 series between these two players. The winner of this series will qualify for the LAN and will be coming to the UK to play against the other top 8 qualificationers. I was going to say that's not a word, but yes, this is a big series and it is a very close series at the moment. We're expecting this, and at the moment living up to our expectations. 540 viewers. Thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. Hopefully this game will be another good one. Spawning in the bottom of the map in the color green, we do indeed have Snow playing as the Sioux. Going to convert that tiger instantly and pick himself up 50 coin there. It is an all-food start. His opponent, however, does get wood, because the Sioux, obviously, they don't need wood. No houses need to be constructed for them. But unlikely to be getting a trading post here. That would delay him just sort of far too much. No, having said that, he's got 100 wood already. And that's... Did he... What? Oh, he got a 50 wood treasure. Okay, that explains a lot. Right. Maybe he will build a TP. He's up in this location. Perhaps...
Yeah, I would.
You would?
I hope he does. He got 50 wood. Because look, you would go for a TP with 200 wood, 200 food, right? Mm-hmm. So why not with 150 wood, 300 food? It's even better, actually. The only thing is that you have to chop really fast. And sadly, LordRaphael has villagers on food, and that's just a mistake because he's not going to get his XP now. And that makes a huge difference. If you just pick up the 50 wood and set your 3 settler wagons on wood directly and just chop, you can get your TP up in time, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, he gathered already. You see, he's already capped to 10 pops, so he already gathered like 130 food. Oh, what the hell? Out of sync?
That's awkward.
Why do we have to have out of sync twice this series now? In like the round of 8, we never have that. Like,
yeah, we
so strange.
Don't often see out of sync. That's not something we usually have to deal with. That's really unusual. Oh, that's really frustrating, actually, but at least it is at, I suppose, the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, it's just gonna be sad for LordRaphael, probably. I would be pretty sad if I got the 50 wood and was able to go for a TP. Even if I do miss the XP because I miss macro, I'm still having a TP in H1, and I would be sad if it goes out of sync. But yeah, well, unfortunate, but happens, I guess. No idea why that does happen actually, but.
Yeah, I didn't realize Garja was in the game. No, that's a joke. I shouldn't say things like that.
Wait, what?
It's a joke.
Oh, he did an out of sync though.
Oh no, he didn't out of sync. He didn't. You're right.
Well, no, that's actually worse because to out of sync you need to have a software, so it means you already prepared it, you know. But yeah, that's well. I guess we're just going again. There's not much to do. If it goes out of sync again, then I guess it's a problem with the map, and we will have to find a way around it. Maybe using one of the old UI maps instead. But for now, I guess. Yeah, there's not much explanation for now, but. Yeah, a bit unfortunate, but anyway, like you said, it was at the start of the game at least. It was like 1 minute in game or something like that. So not gonna be too bad, and we can go again in this game 5.
Yeah, let's try that again. All right, game number 5 in a best of 7 series. Sadly, that happened, but I'm not sure what the cause of it is. Let's hope it doesn't come up again. At least it was at the very beginning of the game. But yeah, starting in the south of the map, in the color green, we do indeed have Snow playing as the Sioux. This time it is a coin start there and has a 50 wood treasure just to the north of his base there. EOS says Sundanchez, yes. Thank you for that, ESO, for kicking us off. And thank you for the 100 bits. But not going to be able to get quite the same oomph out of these crates for Germany. Mind you, Sioux also has coin. So bear that in mind.
Yeah, Germany not going to be able to go for that TP, but the coin start is still better for Germany, especially with that coin treasure in base. Is going to be able to get a market and hunting dogs rather easily. So not going to be too disappointed, I guess.
Yeah, and that market going to go down right away there. God, that's a real shame about that. Never mind. But we're now into the game, so that's good. A geological survey showing promising ore veins. Looks like he's just going to leave that be for the time being. It's not particularly useful treasure. And the Sioux War Chief off to a flying start straight across the map here, but not found a single treasure that he's interested in. 50 wood in base, which I'm surprised he sort of didn't use his nature ability on to get the lion. And a 30 XP treasure as well. Has found 50 coin and now encountering 30 food as well. Looking for that 95 wood or whatever it was that he found last time. And looks like this time we found LordRaphael has come across that big juicy wood treasure sort of on the bottom of the map here. And does eventually pick up a lion.
Snow converting a lion for 30 food treasure, which is like kind of the worst treasure in the game. Instead of taking, like you said, that 50 wood in his base, which could mean, a TP for him, right? So kind of strange to me, but at least he did. I do get his scouting pattern, right? Just going in the middle and then on the sides, because that's where you find most of the treasures, like on the sides, and you can check in the middle. Sometimes you have one, but fortunately for LordRaphael, gonna find 90 wood, which is just something you don't expect to get against Sioux usually, so it's really nice for him.
Someone's just clipped that part where you go chop chop chop. You're saying like, I think you could quite easily get a TP. All you have to do is put all your vills on wood and chop chop chop. It's quite funny actually. But now that's been clipped. I'm gonna watch that later. I quite enjoyed that. But yeah, he didn't pick up that lion with the 50 wood. I'd like to have seen him do that, because then that lion could have taken a scouting pattern up this side of the map, and maybe he would have encountered the wood treasure with it. But 65 coin, just one macaque. It's just resetting now.
Oh no! Oh well, I guess we have to all restart our game and maybe use another UI map. I don't know. I'm gonna go online and tell them to restart, because that would be the first step.
$22.42 coming in. Don't get frustrated by technical issues. Still great content. Thank you very much. And yes, I think that is definitely the moral of the story. Let's get the players to restart their games, because that can be the issue of a lot of those kind of issues. And where's the have you said to both of them? Okay, I'll leave that with you. Oh, LordRaphael's messaging me.
Yeah, but okay, LordRaphael already restarted.
I'll be right back, Kaiser, just a second. Okay. Yeah, we're all going to restart. And, because that can often be the cause of these issues.
Yeah, but we also have the old custom maps, you know, the UI 2.2 map. You know, we could also use that.
I don't think we need to, right? We've used Fertile Crescent, the ESOC version, for every other game, and we don't see issues like this.
I know, but there's no real reason why we should have out of sync now, so I'm just trying to find a way out of this. But yeah, I guess we can just try after all restarting, and if it goes out of sync again, then we'll maybe switch to another map. And LordRaphael did PM me when I was PMing. He said, "Boss times I had a great start." He was a bit frustrated about the out of sync, and I can understand. I also had this once in a series, actually against Snow, in fact. And we went up to 4-3, and then to 3-3. And the last game, we had like 2 times out of sync on Herald Island, and 2 times I was getting wood starts, and I was just so mad.
Yeah, that I could see that being frustrating. Oh yeah. Dear.
Maybe Snow has a problem with his Age of Empires 3 or something, because yeah, I just remember that it was also against Snow. I had like twice out of sync.
Yes.
But I guess we're just gonna go in again.
All right. Well, the positive is we're dragging the series out. It's longer to get. We have more time to reach 600 viewers, which is what we'd like to do. Currently at 550. So this is all part of the plan, guys. Don't worry. It's all intentional.
Just adding even more intensity to the series. Everyone's just waiting to see what's gonna happen. Is it gonna out of sync? Is it gonna play out? You'll see only if you tune in. So just call everyone.
Yeah, that's
just
really
watch the series.
I just want to say how unusual it is. Like, I've never had any out of sync issues like in tournament games casting before. Except since the very early days when the Observer UI was being first made. And that's understandable. Azent was testing things out, and some features made it out of sync and others didn't, but we eventually found this stable one that didn't have any features that did that. But yes, attempt number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, this is game number 5 in a best-of-7 series between LordRaphael and Snow. We have now all restarted our computers, our games, and that will help, and that will stop this issue. I think that's probably the solution. But
yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Let's see how the players handle attempt number 3. Spawning in the south of the map in the color red, we do indeed have LordRaphael. It is a 200 wood start, which I think this is the best crate start of the 3. 200 wood is always really, really nice to see. And in base, he's got a 40 coin treasure. And look at that. I think he's going to be quite pleased. I think he got 2 great starts in a row. And if he sees that 90 wood, he should get a 3rd great start in a row there. So I think LordRaphael will ultimately sort of be quite pleased. But hasn't seen the treasure just yet. Going to go and crack shot this 50 wood. 40 coin. And is then going to head on over to the trading post. By the looks of it, can pick that up in just a moment. But his opponent, the Sioux, here he is, the Snow, playing as the Sioux.
He can also
in the color green.
He can also get a TP up because he's got 150 wood. I hope he will. The alternative is to just build 3 TPs and not 1 trading post. But The trading post just feels so good. So I don't know. Maybe he's not, but you do have to chop for it, obviously. I think Snow is not sure just now. He's like, okay, let's scout the map. Maybe I find the 90 wood, and then I don't need to chop anything, and I just build a trading post. And he's also, so that's why he's not dropping the TPs just yet, I think. But looks like he's instead gonna go and try to attack the Red Explorer, and now spending his wood on TPs because he's like, okay, I'm just gonna try to kill him. I'm not gonna build a trading post myself, so I'm just gonna spend that wood on 2 TPs and play it safe.
Yeah, looks like the lion is now down, and without the lion, he can't continue to attack the Explorer there. But doing, a bit of damage to it, and now going to sort of race back across the map here to pick up his 80 coin treasure that he scouted earlier, which is going to be quite
nice.
Still
100 wood in the bank, though. Maybe he still hopes he will find the 90 wood to build a trading post, but I don't know. I think he should just build 2 TPs at this point, because there's no reason to keep 100 wood when you can just get some mini Carnimatas, right?
Yeah. Tiny little mini Carnimatas giving you villager bonuses. Yeah, he's only built the 1 TP here, costing him 50 wood. But LordRaphael, what's he up to? He's got trading post down, and so far has found 40 coin, 20 coin. Has not found the big wood treasure in his base just yet. I suppose that, it's still sort of hidden there. You usually want to get out on the map to contest other people's treasures and make sure you clean them up. But I think if he'd seen it, he would, ignore that sort of way of doing treasuring and instead get the 90 wood. But it is there. He can come back for it later. Looks like those 60... This is a really nice treasure for Sioux because the monkeys are so easy to kill with the area damage.
He will definitely find the treasure anyway because he's going to go to herd that hunt on the right. But it's just unfortunate for him because usually you go for that TP because it's the first XP and usually you go there. So if he had gone there directly at start, he might have seen the wood treasure on his way. Would have been really cool for him. But he went for the wrong trading post. It's not a huge deal, but you do get your XP quite a bit later. And so as a result, he didn't find the wood, but he might find it now, or maybe not. Anyway, Sioux is gonna click up. Didn't find the food treasure until just now. There's like two really good treasures on this map. It's the 100 food and the 90 wood. And you want to find them usually as Sioux here. And he does find this 100 food. A bit too late, but still gonna be nice. And boss players aging up at pretty much the same time, actually.
Yeah, that's spot on identical, I think. Quartermaster and both players going up with the Quartermaster, basically. The Chief going to give 400 wood, all the same. Snow switching all his villagers over to wood now. And looks like he can get his market down and perhaps build some TPs during transition there, starting to herd these animals towards his base the best he can. But the 90 wood, it is now spotted by LordRaphael. It was behind his base the whole time, and it's just going to creep that the best he can, taking down this tiger. Oh, he reset the Guardians, but it's not like he's in any hurry, I suppose. He can, and he's not taking any damage to do it, but do need to be careful there.
You're always a little bit in a hurry against Sioux because it just feels so dangerous. But yeah, I think it's going to be okay there. And actually, Snow kept 100 wood for a trading post. I really feel like at the end of the day, he could have chopped 50 wood in H1 and got the TP up. And then he would even get his 3 vills faster if he built it like here or something, his first trading post. But he decided to go for the safer way. And he kept 100 wood and was able to steal a trading post from the German TP line, and he's building another one on top. Unfortunately, gonna miss the XP, but still, he's got 2 TPs up, and we'll have to see what the plan is for Snow. I guess he's just gonna do the standard Sioux stuff, right, and start with a stable. And he's scouting with a lion, the German base, and directly spotting the barracks.
Up. Yeah, barracks going down. And now LordRaphael coming forward with his Explorer as well. And he's going to see the corral there. Market now going down as well for Snow in base, just the 2 TPs. But yeah, he's got 2 trading posts. And this looks pretty good. 4 Axe Riders coming out. They're going to catch the Explorer there. But at least he knows what the shipment is.
Right. It's like, okay, he lost his Explorer kind of in the worst possible spot. Although he does get line of sight with the dead Explorer, but it's going to be very hard to get it back. But just knowing that the 4 Axe Riders are here is like, it's just so much scouting already. So the scout did a good job at least. And now he probably knows he has to get anti-cav soon. I hope for LordRaphael that he's starting with Pikemen and not with crossbows. Let's see.
Oh,
Doppel is good as well.
Oh, hot damn. Does lose the villager there and is going to get on out with his Sioux war chief. Not going to lose. But he's coming back in. No, he's not going to take damage with the Doppelsoddeners. I want to see... Oh, I'm going to pick up a lion with the 2 Ulans there. Let's see if he can catch the Axe Riders with the Ulan and then let the Doppelsoddeners get up close. But Snow going to be very careful. And off to a good start, killing a villager there.
And LordRaphael building more Dops.
Here we go. He's coming back in with the cavalry. The Doppelsodden is not going to get a swing.
He does need something to deal with the Boraiders at some point, because they can hit and run Dops forever, obviously. He's going to kill a Yulan there or not, actually. But, I mean, Dops can scare the Boraiders away, and he can TC fire them a bit, I guess, but... You know, it's not ideal to deal with Boraiders to have just Doppels. He needs a batch of crossbows, at least just 5 crossbows.
Even more Doppelsodden is coming out. 3 more there. And now just going to push forward with them. Does get a swing off on the Bow Riders. That's really dangerous. Playing with fire there. You don't want to get too close to these monsters with their big swords. Just kiting them back here. And he can do that.
And LordRaphael has to save his house.
Nice stagger mode. I like it. Yeah. And perhaps he can get the repair off on there. Yeah, cover mode. Whoops.
Yeah, he's trying to buy time with his Dops, even if he has to lose HP on them just to repair. And I wish he just would have kept sieging a little bit, because now the house is almost full HP. But he's got more Boraiders, and it's going to make it even harder for LordRaphael to just defend this pressure.
Yeah, but crossbows are in queue. 5 crossbows about to pop. Yeah. Here comes the swordsman again, forcing them away. Perhaps, though, I think, about to see a crossbow pop. There it is. And that's what he needs to start handling these bow riders. They've got their times 2 versus ranged cavalry.
Yeah, which is actually times 1.5 because they also have a multiplayer of 0.75 against all cavalry. It's kind of poorly designed by the developers, I guess.
Right, it's a bit confusing. Right, so it's actually 1.5. Sure. And actually, this 1.3 against Expos is actually 1.25. It just rounds up. So a lot of confusing things in AoE3. But...
Yeah, and there's also some hidden bonuses. Like, for example, just a random example, ninjas, they have a multiplier against native units. They do 5 times as much or 4 times as much damage against natives. For whatever reason, it's not written anywhere.
Oh, that's not even on the UI. Maybe it's a multiplier that they gave the unit, but it has no option to be displayed because there is no like native specific multiplier. Anyway, he's sieging down the trading post. Dops and Ulans, Dops and crossbows coming in, and Ulans actually, and he's going to force him away. Doesn't want to stay too close. I think the crossbowman might get a volley off. No, he's far too far away now, and that trading post is saved today. This lion, though, it is going to see what's going on, and looks like he's going to go back just to finish it off. But all this time, Snow been gathering, and does get up by the looks of it with the messenger politician. 400. Wait, no, he's got wood on the floor. So that's the 700 wood, right? So he did go up with the messenger, and LordRaphael also aging behind this as well. So both players similar strategies in mind, wanting to get up to that fortress age very, very quickly. But now with the 700 wood, we do see a war hut being placed down. Here it is in the center of the map from Snow, looking to place that military building. Going to get some map control here, but Ulan's coming out on the side. Looks like they're going to... They're going to catch...
try to trap, but...
and Dop's coming in from the side, but looks like they will...
I think Snow should have just attacked direct his Ulans. They're so low HP, like he can't really snare Boraiders and stuff with Ulans. But anyway, not a terrible trade. Boss players just losing one cavalry unit there, so... But yeah, that mine is a little bit exposed. That's the prime of Germany and fertile Crescent, I guess. It's not super safe, and Sioux is probably going to keep pressuring it. And the one thing about this H2 is that at the end of the day, Snow aged up with units that he's going to upgrade, while LordRaphael had to train units in Colonial that he's not going to upgrade, most likely. Like these crossbows and these doppels are not very valuable in H3 compared to Boraiders and Axe Raiders. So Feels just good for Sioux, I think, but somehow his score is really, really low.
Yeah, they're not valuable, the Doppels, I guess, once you hit Fortress. We all know that about the Colonial Age units, but this trading post is going down quickly, and I don't think he's going to be able to get on there just in enough time. Oh, but he's giving up on the siege. Actually, it's going to stay. I guess he saw the Tiger. The Tiger saw the army, and he wanted to get away there. I think he could have taken down the trading post had he stayed a little bit longer, but thankfully for LordRaphael, not the case today. A lot of Wakina out in the map now. A shipment of 9 plus a batch of 5 by the looks of it. Going to have, very strong against the Doppels here. They are going to spot them. Yeah, a couple of Doppels. 3 Doppels,
wow,
nice.
Volleys.
Really
Holy
nice
moly.
split.
Yeah, Snow has a really good micro anyway, and he did get really nice volleys there. And wow, that's 5 dubs staying in no time. It's kind of big. I mean, I said they're not very valuable. They are not as valuable as veteran units, but they still kind of scare the Sioux cavalry away. And we all know there might be a bunch of axe riders or even dog soldiers at some point, and having these dubs just helps a little bit. So obviously you don't want to be giving 5 dubs for free, but so that's a really nice pick for Snow. I just wish he maybe got the stagecoach on his side, because he has a Baja, he has a bit of map control, but another, wow. Oh my god,
that's not good at all. There's so many bow riders mixed in there, and these Ulans just going to drop, and the snare from the axe rider keeping them in position as well. Ugh.
Oh, and the Wakina's coming in to pressure the gold mine, and the Ulan veterancy coming in when he has one low HP Ulan left on the map. That is so sad. Like, it's looking really, really tough for Germany here, I guess.
Yeah, but still ahead in score. I mean, he did send 1,000 wood, and he's built all the stuff he needs to do with that, so that's really good going into the late game, and he's got his steel traps, placer mines.
And he does ship 1k gold as well.
Yeah, 1k
going
gold.
For a really greedy build. But he's out of gold mine now. Wow, and where do you move now?
Wow.
For your next gold mine? He can't really take a fight. Sioux has calf combat and just stronger units. Where do you go? Do you go here? I guess you have to build a tower there or something.
Yeah, I think that's where he's going. Is pushing forward with the skirms he has, though. But Wakina, very scary skirmishers.
Yeah, they do have less range, though, which is really annoying in a skirmisher fight. But they do much more damage than regular skirmishers. Like, they're cheaper and they do more damage than a European skirm, which means that they're very good at sniping, like, war wagons, for example. But you do need something in front to tank a bit, and because if you just go for a skirmisher war, they get outranged, which is not ideal. But they're just really good at sniping stuff, basically.
He is on the mine now, though. And Jaeger's coming out. Okay, this is what he needs, the skirm boost. I think he's now okay, right? He's got his Jaegers out, and that's going to give him the skirmisher mess that he needs to push forward, secure the mine, and be threatening to his opponent's Wakina, and indeed bow riders as well, which are sort of coming in, looking for some things to kill. But that mine is long gone now. They're not going to find any villages there.
But, and cavalry attack coming in for Sioux, really greedy. Although, to be fair, he has the same military pop, so I guess he can afford to ship upgrades. But he's going to need something to deal with the Jaegers now. He needs more hand cav, like less bow riders, and just start making more axe riders. And he did just get the axe rider veterancy or elite upgrade, I guess I should say. So he's probably going to make more of them. He can still ship 5 of them. And in less than 2 minutes, there's going to be the Dog Soldier Big Button, probably. And then I think Sioux should be able to crush this German army, because there's only 5 war wagons, or 6 war wagons for now.
And this looks like this is a very similar to build to what we saw Taben do. Or was it Lucas? I don't remember. It was one of the two yesterday.
Lucas, yeah.
Lucas, that's right. He got Cav Combat, Cav Attack, and Cav Defense in just in time for the Big Button. And the Dog Soldiers just had this exceptional exceptional fight when we were watching it, and we thought there were so many Dragoons that they wouldn't be overly effective even with all the upgrades, but they really went to town.
Yeah.
And Snow sort of mirroring that, I think perhaps he will get Cav Defense in as well, and we'll see that Big Button timing to coincide with it. Looks like LordRaphael actually queuing Doppelsodners now, anticipating this Big Button and just wanting to get the heavy-hitting anti-cavalry in just in time for when it arrives, just to make sure his army can handle that big batch of cav that will eventually be here for the Sioux.
Yeah. And it's just, we'll see how it goes, right? But maybe LordRaphael missed his window a little bit. He couldn't know that there's no hand cav or almost no hand cav. There was like mostly Borados. He couldn't really know that. So he didn't feel safe pushing with only a few war wagons and Jaegers, but he had a window. He didn't know it. And now it's going to be the part of the game where it gets near impossible to kill the Sioux army, because it's going to get cav HP and the 6 dogs. And they have the same military pop, but when the dogs pop, Sioux is going to be ahead. And when Sioux is ahead in military with like twice as strong units as what you have, like the only strong units in this German army are the Jaegers, basically. Everything else is kind of rubbish compared to what Sioux gets. So there's gonna be one big fight, and I'm afraid it's not gonna go very well for Germany. But we'll have to see what LordRaphael can do.
He's gonna
look at the macro. Sorry.
Yeah, the big buttons coming in. 1.5k food just spent, and now text being researched. Sioux dog soldiers coming in hot. But LordRaphael is getting veteran Doppelsodner in as well at the same time. So if he's got a reasonable... Where are his Dops? Oh, they're mixed into the army there. He's got a good number of Dops in there, so perhaps that could be what he needs to handle all of this Sioux cavalry. But here we go. Coming forward now, let's switch on over to military units in anticipation of this fight so that we can see what the players have, though. But the Dog Soldiers and Axe Riders trying to get on top of the Skirms and Jaegers there. A lot of Doppelsodners in the front. They're probably going to go down quite quickly, but hopefully they get some heavy hits. I'm not really sure where they are. They're covered up by war wagons. You can see them sort of there.
They were hidden by the war wagons, which was kind of good for LordRaphael, but is it really gonna matter at the end of the day? I think these Borados alone can almost kill this entire army now because they are just so strong. He's got 22 bills dancing on the fire pit. Borados got 38 ranged attack. So that's kind of like the attack of an Imperial Boraider for the record. And he's just cleaning up everything. GG.
GG.
That is just typical Sioux on EP at the moment. And it's very strong.
Sioux very, very strong at the moment, and makes sense. Both players have now won with the Sioux in this tournament, in this series, and neither of them can now play the Sioux going forward. But Snow picking up the victory is now on match point. If he wins the next game, he does qualify for the LAN, and LordRaphael will drop down to the lower bracket, where actually his next game will also qualify him for the LAN if he wins that. So he's got 2 chances, so to speak. But it's definitely looking good for Snow. Let's see if LordRaphael can bring it back, though. Sioux is now out the way. We don't have to deal with that anymore. Let's take a look at the post-game at the military unit population. And you can see that fight at the end just went very, very well for Germany. Pardon me, for the Sioux. Germany, not so well. That's what I meant to say.
No, not so well. Indeed. Well, he did get one of the best trades I thought he could. But it's just definitely not enough. Like, you could see it coming after wasting 5 Dops and, like, I don't know, 10 Ulans or something like that. Like, you already need every single unit you can get against Sioux. You need to play really accurately and never lose units for free, because if you do, then this happens. And he really had to hit the timing before Sioux would get the big button and to just not waste his units. But when he wasted so many units, it was kind of over already. Because then Snow got away with shipping, like, I mean, Cav Combat, Cav Attack, Cav HP, it's so greedy, but he can get away with it after killing 15 units for free or 20 units.
Yeah, we're all just restarting one more time, Kaiser, just after every game, just to be certain that we don't have to run into this issue.
Oh, I tell them that they should restart?
No, I've already told them. I'm saying that you should restart, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, because Snow is not restarting. But maybe he's just AFK. Oh, okay, he's restarting now. Never mind.
But that game, I guess, with all 3 upgrades, and was it the War Dance as well? 38 ranged attack on a Bow Rider. It's just, it's crazy, right? Very, very strong.
It's insane. It's insane. It's just ridiculous. Like, Bow Riders start with 20 attack, and they had 38. So, like I said, it's almost a 100% boost. He didn't even have 25 bills on the pit, so it could even maybe push to like 39 attack or something. And they also do have twice the rate of fire of regular range units. So you can count that as 76 attack and not 38, which is just ridiculous. Like a war wagon has 42 attack, and it's a 300 resources unit, and Boraider has 76. So it's insane.
Yeah, it's quite impressive. But let's take a look at the Civ selection screen. Both civilizations, both players have used the Sioux. LordRaphael won in that Sioux mirror in the very start. And Snow, he got to play the Sioux again as he hadn't won with it. So bringing that score up now to 3-2. And it is now on LordRaphael to come out on top in this next game. Otherwise, his tournament series, his tournament life in the upper bracket will be over and he won't qualify unless, well, he goes to the lower bracket. But Pampas is up next. And I think Dutch, still a very strong civ. But Snowy's used up his British, so if LordRaphael...
Sorry.
Yeah, ESO is down at the moment. That's for everyone. Yeah. So it'll come back up in a moment. It sort of does that every now and again. It sort of likes to reset itself. But it usually doesn't take very long. So we'll just give it a moment. What do you think will happen on Pampas then? I think LordRaphael, he'll play Dutch. I think that's a civ that he can play, that he's quite happy to play. And it's a very strong civ on Pampas. But... and it'll be a very safe civ to play as well, because your opponent can't just pick British into it. Obviously, no trading posts on that map, so fewer civs generally will be seen. I don't really think Snow is too much of a India player. I don't really think he'll want to play India.
I don't know exactly how comfortable he is with India, but I know he plays them, and he also picked them again, King of Osman in the previous round. So he can totally play India for sure. I just don't know if he's gonna pick India over Dutch, because I think he's maybe more comfortable with Dutch. We've seen him play Dutch lots of times in previous tournaments. So I think it's gonna be between India and Dutch there. I would be surprised if he goes for anything else, but it's hard to say which one of these civs he's gonna pick, because is he comfortable enough with India to beat LordRaphael's Dutch? I'm not sure. Maybe he's more comfortable in the Dutch mirror or something like that. So we'll have to see, I guess.
Yeah, apparently Hazza saying Raphael not known for his Brits. So we think LordRaphael will shy away from playing as the British. And LordRaphael probably going to play Dutch, I think, is what we're saying. And that's fine, right? Because Snow's already won with British. It's not like that can come out to counterpick him.
Well, Snow has to pick first anyway, right? So
that is true.
So it's more like LordRaphael is not super comfortable with Brits, so Snow is gonna feel okay picking Dutch first, because he's probably not gonna be too scared of LordRaphael counterpicking with Brits. Although he might. I mean, I don't personally know how good LordRaphael is with Brits, but if Hazza says he's not too good, then I guess we're gonna believe him. And so yeah, Dutch first pick could be solid for Snow as a result. But I do know that LordRaphael is comfortable as India against Dutch. I've seen him play this matchup before, and he plays it really well. So if Snow goes Dutch and LordRaphael goes India, it could be quite close. And we are going to wait for ESO to come back with us.
Yeah, it's still down at the moment. But we're going to be back in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to roll some ads. And hopefully by the end, we'll be in ready. By the way, Ham, if you press the ad button, it will play them halfway. You need to wait until it actually gets to that point on the stream. It doesn't take the delay into account. But yes, when you're hearing this, some ads will now roll. I guess I'm going to go to the loo then. I'll see you.
All right.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the stream. We're now back on ESO, and we'll be clicking into game number 5 in just a moment. Pardon me, game number 6. The score is 3-2 to Snow. It is match point. If he takes the next win, he wins the series and qualifies for the LAN. Big stuff here.
Yeah, definitely. To be honest, I kind of expect both of these players to qualify anyway. But I think it's much nicer to qualify directly from the upper bracket without losing a series. It's just nice.
It would for sure feel good, wouldn't it? Yeah.
But I do feel like any of these players is most likely... I mean, they're just top players. So I would be surprised if one of them doesn't manage to qualify. And I get Fade to join right now. I don't know if you can join their lobby, but
I'm getting FTG as well. Yeah.
No one can ever join it, and maybe the problem comes from him, but it should be fine when he just relogs.
No, I think it's Snow that's giving the FTG.
Oh, that's possible, yeah. I just know that from experience, LordRaphael does this sometimes. Well, they can join each other just fine, though. But I still can't. That is weird. I'm gonna try to join another game. Yeah, I can join Sompu, so don't know what's up here.
I think Snow's gonna restart now. He's doing that.
Hello? Are we live? Oh, we're live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Interjection here. Welcome to Escape TV. Absolutely.
G'day, mates.
We're here to fill some time while the reelers move to the other stage.
Crikey.
Yeah,
Did you know you can subscribe for free with Amazon Prime?
I actually don't think this is overly
That's
conducive
for all the
to getting
Sheilas out
600
there.
viewers.
Oh, looks like we just subscribed to ourselves, and you can too.
What a beauty.
Now we can spam AoE Robo in the chat. We should be at the stage now. We'll see you in a second.
G'day.
Hold on. All right, welcome back, everybody. We will be getting into the next match. It will be on Pampas Sierras. Let's copy and paste the this for them in the chat so they can see the map pool. But we are ready to start. The game is up. Let's see what civilizations they select then. This is the interesting part. So we know that LordRaphael is getting to pick afterwards. It's kind of his advantage here. So let's see what Snow goes for. Snow currently on the Sioux, which is what he played last time. He can no longer play that. It is now disabled. But we're expecting to see, obviously, civilizations that are good on non-trading post maps. You cannot play the British. He's already played with those.
Yes.
So he cannot play the British or the Sioux or Russia, as Kaiserklein points out there in the chat for him.
Right. So yeah, I already expect him to be either India or Dutch.
Yeah, I think India and Dutch are the two. I'm going more with the Dutch, but you're saying that maybe India. India seems like a fine pick, actually, now the more I think about it, because I think India does perfectly fine versus British, if LordRaphael were to pick that, though we're not expecting him to. And India does perfectly fine against Dutch as well, which I think is the more likely pick from Raphael here.
Yeah, on this map, it's usually between India, Dutch, Russia, Aztecs, and Brits. People just pick one of these 5 cities, and some of them counter some others. So depending on what you pick, you might get counter-picked by something else. Like if you go Brits, your opponent is likely to be India, but if you go Dutch, your opponent is likely to be Brits and that kind of stuff. But here, they have a limited civ pool because of the civilization rules and also because they don't play every civ. Like, for example, I don't think either of them wants to be Aztecs because they don't really play them. And yeah, we do have Eric going for India here.
And coming
LordRaphael.
straight out with the India mirror. Okay. No messing around now. I think India also a civilization that some people think is very, very strong at the moment as well. Maybe LordRaphael of that opinion and would rather just mirror. New subscription coming in from Kavazion. That sounds like an element or something, like on the periodic table. But subscribing with Prime, thank you very much. Oh my goodness! How to Talk, Please Help has just gifted several subscriptions. In fact, more than I can count, over 10. Let's... I don't know how many, but certainly a lot. Congratulations to everybody.
It's written 10 on top.
Oh, it is 10.
But
I see that, 10.
Yeah, but it's
I'd better
pretty nice.
click in, though. I'd better click in. The game is starting. That came in at just the right moment, just as we're starting. Pogu, I think, is the correct terminology there. Perez saying, where's my sub? You didn't get selected, nor did GIB the Dirty, I'm afraid. You guys will have to wait. But yeah, thank you very much for that. And 100 bits from Sundanchez as well, keeping up the bitties. But India, yes. India Mirror will be up next. Ladies and gentlemen, this series is heating up. The score is 3-2 in favor of Snow. Let's start with him on the south of the map in the color green, playing as the Indians here. He has just in front of him a 40 XP treasure, but I think we're expecting his scouts to go straight over to the llamas, and that will be the same for his opponent, LordRaphael. Here he is in the north of the map as well. This is match point. If Snow takes this game, he qualifies for the LAN and will be coming to Manchester. LordRaphael, it's all on him now to take back a victory and even this score out. First to 4 wins. The winner takes all. I don't know, I just wanted to say that. It sounds awesome. Gonna find 75 wood. That's a really nice treasure there. But firstly, gonna have to get onto the llamas and see if we can get those. Let's see how many llamas each player gets. But both very similar patterns here with their elephants.
Yeah, and that is a huge treasure as well. The Hume Inca dude. That is just so strong. Can deny an Niagara Fort, can kill elephants so quickly because of the multiplayer against Cav. It's just an insane net. So, yeah, first they're going to battle out for the llamas. And it looks like Snow is going to pick maybe one more llama, although LordRaphael is trying to steal one now with his second monk. So I guess they might just end up both having 4 llamas each.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Or maybe 5 for LordRaphael because he's going to steal 2 of them maybe. Yeah, well.
Stomp.
Not a huge deal either way.
The stomp did quite a lot of damage there, though. That llama's lost 10 of its HP. But
they're trying to do again that trick, to kill the livestock with the area of effect. But boss paying attention that this doesn't happen. So just boss gonna get 4 llamas. There's 1 llama left on top that LordRaphael might just pick up later.
Yeah. But now I think the attention of the players will turn to the treasures. You mentioned the, I call them the homunca, but it's a hominica or something like that. This is an exceptional treasure, 170 HP, 48 siege attack, and very strong against cavalry there. That is certainly a contender. Both elephants could grab that. But also, perhaps he's looking to get into position to maybe steal the 75 wood treasure as well. These 2 very big hot points that we should keep an eye on. Looks like Red going to go for 75 wood with his elephants, and Green going to take the homunca treasure.
Yeah, because LordRaphael actually scouted the native treasure, but Snow didn't scout the wood treasure. So Snow is not going to go to steal it, but LordRaphael is also not going to go to steal Snow's treasure because he's already taking 1. So it's going to be a very pacific start here. And I honestly don't know what is better. The net is insane, but wood is also obviously nice for India. I guess it's going to depend on what Snow can do with the net. I still feel like the net is just better because now he's gonna be able to take probably every single treasure because you can't get close to this net as India. Really, it's gonna deal 15 times 3, so 45 damage to an elephant. And if he can get the snare, but LordRaphael is reacting because this guy literally kills an elephant in like 5 or 6 hits.
The elephant's tagged as cavalry, so his pikeman style bonus going to be really, really strong there. But it looks like LordRaphael now up to the Colonial Age, placing his wonder in the center of the map here near this coin mine. And that villager could be threatened here, right? He finds the villager there, and the harmonica has 15 attack. Yeah, he's going to have to abandon the wonder. It will build itself very slowly, but he's going to be up later. Thankfully, the LordRaphael did place the wonder down before Snow, and Snow has a villager, so Snow will catch up to the 25% there, but I think both players going to be aging at similar times, it would seem. Looks like he's done what he needed to do. That harmonica coming in really, really strong, and actually going to start sieging the foundation, but that doesn't do anything. Once it's completed, it doesn't actually end up having damage taken on it, so no point in sieging it.
It does if you have enough units, but it's just healing really fast. It's like getting HP really, really quickly. But if you have really like 30 musketeers or something, and then the wonder goes up, and it does have less HP. But yeah, so a couple of things I want to say. First, LordRaphael is aging up faster because he got that 75 wood, but indeed he does not have a villager on the wonder. And Snow is able to get a more forward Agra fort with better map control because of the net. And now we have a treasure contention for 2 ship, which is more relevant in this matchup than in most.
Snow
and the stomp. So Snow definitely getting it. And now look at that monk. It's insane. Like
absolutely
it's dead.
Stomped by that harmonica. Not too good. The stomp coming in for Snow, and he gets the sheep as a result. And more relevant because of the XP that they generate sort of over time here. But LordRaphael and Snow, looks like they're going to get up at the very same time. Yeah,
and LordRaphael is going to get back his monk. He's going to try to get it back, but there's the net guarding, so Snow being quite smart here. And I don't think LordRaphael can save his monk. He's going to lose one again if he tries to go in.
He's going to try and pick it up, but that harmonica dude standing guard, can he pull the elephant away with his other elephant?
Yeah, he's not paying attention, so...
He's going to get out of there. Just rescue the monk, and we'll be safe and sound with slightly more speed there. Can get away. So that's all good for LordRaphael. He gets his monks back, which is important. They're very good and useful for scouting, and of course the extra HP during encounters. But let's switch on over to shipment sent. Distributivism coming in from both players as their Age 1 shipment. We'll see what they elect to do in Age 2. Foreign logging coming in for LordRaphael, another wood trickle. Starting to get his market upgrades in. Foreign logging coming in for Snow as well. The same market upgrades.
Yeah, kind of standard at this point. Some players like to Sepoy Rush. It can work if your opponent doesn't defend super well. But usually it's just a risk because Gorkhas are superior, obviously. And in a matchup where you can't really get Cav early on, it's just better to start with Gorkhas most of the time. And that elephant getting caught here and just dying.
He sort of spazzed out a bit. He was sort of like left and right, all doing the hokey cokey. That's what it's all about. But he does see the Gurkha, so that's all that he knows what's going on there. It's not a Sepoy rush. Both players starting Gurkha.
We're probably going to see some very standard India stuff. Probably going to be 300 export next. Or maybe they go for 600 wood. No, it's 300 export for Snow. You see he's got his first shipment later because he edged up later, but now he gets the export earlier because he has 2 more sheep and he killed the elephant twice, getting 90 XP out of it. So getting the export earlier.
Yeah, diplomatic intrigue from both players here. And consulate's now going to be going up. We're expecting to see, I think, the Ottoman consulates. Yeah, Snow almost got that in now. And can indeed get the 4 villages on offer at the Ottoman consulate to boost his economy a bit further. Snow now doing that, and LordRaphael not far behind him, getting Ottoman consulate now in. And Snow trying to dip in there with his monk and see what's going on. Doesn't see anything unusual, so that's going to be good for him. He's going to be pleased about that. And now Imperial Bureaucracy coming in for both players as well. Big, expensive market upgrade, but that one very strong.
The build order is so similar, it's insane. Like it's kind of like if you do the first step and try to commit in fighting, then you're up against the Agra fort, and the opponent is just like, if you cut eco to push, the opponent is also gonna cut eco just a little bit less than you, and he's gonna be able to hold with his fort and stuff, and you're gonna be behind. So they're just playing it really safe, don't want to commit it to anything, and just going for the greediest Indian kind of build you can get. So wood trickle and export. And now 600 wood for Snow. We'll have to see if LordRaphael also goes for that. He could be going for maybe 600 coin for an age up or something like that, but it might be 600 wood as well. We have to wait and see.
Yeah, 600 wood coming for Snow, and with it he's going to make his caravanserai and a couple of houses coming down now. His opponent, I think it'll be the same. It doesn't look like he's macroed to age up, and I think he's just, let's take a look at units in queue. Gurkhas in queue. Probably just going to send wood and get the houses he needs as well. Very similar things at the moment. Both players playing very, well, just playing very standard, right? Like you said, if you're aggressive, you cut eco for that, and your opponent gets ahead of you, and defending is always easier, and you'll just get behind. So both players just going to play this very standard India style. Now adding in the red caravanserai as well. And a couple of houses going up with that wood. But now looks like Snow just poking in on the side with his Gurkha. He's got enough units now to feel comfortable being out with them. Does see some Gurkha here from Raphael popping on the side. He's going to lose one there. So being out in this location has paid off. He did kill a Gurkha. Small things at this point, but that's what wins you this kind of game.
And LordRaphael has more. No, wait. Now the Gorka count is even. Okay. But Snow has his Zembrax out earlier because he's got the 600 wood way earlier. And the second rack's going up for LordRaphael, planning to make really a lot of Gorkas here. And I think Snow has seen the barracks because with the Ottoman consulate you have so much line of sight. So maybe if he knows that LordRaphael is going to go for double racks, basically, with the Agra fort, he might be adding some Sowa himself instead of making more Zembraks. And he did ship 4 Sowas now.
4 Sowas, yeah, coming out from Snow. Adding to that army. Perhaps we'll see our first deviation here. It looks like Snow looking to push very soon if he's sending 4 Sowas. He is pop-capped, but he does have the 300 wood to rectify that issue. LordRaphael now coming in now. Might be able to pick off the Humunka and perhaps an elephant. Humunka does go down. Sepoy coming forward as well, since they have less range. That does get picked off.
Yeah.
So a couple of nice pickups there for LordRaphael. Hasn't lost any of his own units. But both the gardeners passing each other. Oh, wow.
Yeah, not seeing each other. Oh, well, actually Snow saw them, but LordRaphael did not. And he's trying to find them, but I don't know how it's going to end up. But probably Snow going to be able to catch the raid. No, he's going to raid himself, actually. But Zembrak's being pulled by LordRaphael. Just quite a passive game here and so mirrored. But we'll have to see who can get ahead eventually.
LordRaphael sends 600 coin, though. Sentry's being called to force the raid away, but a villager does go down. But the Sentry's really, really weak. The Gardener's probably going to be able to take them out just by a little bit of unit control with that Hussar. Just going to drag these ones away, keeping the Vils belled up here. And now just going to come back in and finish these Sentries off.
Oh. And LordRaphael Zembrak's also picked up one of the Gardeners from Snow. And LordRaphael is actually aging up.
Yeah, he sent 600 coin, whereas his opponent did not. Has been forced into the corner here with his Gardener, and the 2 more HP green ones they're targeting the higher HP Hussar, so this will be more even than it should be. Does pick off one of the Gardeners there, but clearly green will win that fight with basically a whole extra unit. But he forced the Sentries and killed them, and killed a villager as well, so by no means bad for red. That will be
quite a good
fine.
trade for red.
But this is the first very interesting thing that has happened. Red is sending 600 gold, or has sent it, and is now aging up. 8 villagers there on the Tower of Victory, I would imagine. And
yeah, and looks like Snow is gonna follow up, but I think he added so many Sowas, but he never really tried to push in. I mean, not so many. To be fair, he has only 9 Sowars, but it's just weird to me to get this unit shipment in and not go. But he was probably waiting for the camel attack. This could be a nice timing for him, since LordRaphael is aging and he has camel attack in and some Sowar. He could try to take a fight, but he's not sure if he wants to. He's probably going to push just when LordRaphael is up. But that might be too late, because it might give just enough time to LordRaphael to get something like the Euromies or a 9 Zembarak shipment.
Yeah, and of course to upgrade his units as well. He's got a lot of Gurkha there, and Zambaraks, and of course now gathering wood. He's got 200 wood, and he'll need that to upgrade. He's now on the British consulate as well. In fact, both
they're both on
are.
the British consulate now.
Yeah, but now veteran or disciplined Gurkha now coming in. This is a good time to push just before those upgrades come in, and of course a shipment hits.
Yep. The Sowars in a very bad spot though, getting blocked by the wheels and the trees, not able to go on top of the Zembaraks. That might go very poorly for Snow here. He doesn't want his Sowars there, he wants them already on top of the Gurkhas, and finally they're gonna go there, but there's like a few of them left and probably not enough to do damage.
Yeah.
And more Zembaraks coming in, not super useful.
And have to get out of there.
LordRaphael probably won at this point. I mean, he just has H3 in, he's getting veterancy, he's gonna get a unit shipment, he's got more mass already, and Snow is gonna follow up, but you don't have a fast age as India. You can set 8 wheels on the Wonder, but it's still slower than the European exiled prince.
Yeah.
So
Takes
it's
a
gonna
full
be
minute. 8 villages will get up in a full minute. The European exiled prince used to be 40 seconds, but is now 45 seconds, so you're still 15 seconds slower compared, and you have to use 8 villages, which is, gather time being wasted. But Yorumi have arrived now, and pushing out with the disciplined Gurkha. Came out ahead in that fight, and I think he'll be very, very pleased. It looks like he's going to be able to turn that advantage into sacking the Agra fort, or he can push forward and ignore it.
LordRaphael can't, I mean, Snow can't keep buying time. He's trying to do it, but his skirmishers are so much inferior. They even have less range because it's a feature as India. You get 1 more range every time you age up on your Gurkhas. I mean, every time you upgrade them. And so the really bad trades here for Snow. Look at the military, it's so one-sided. Meanwhile, the Agra fort getting sieged down by 3 Mahouts. Yeah, he shipped 2 and he got 1 from the age up with the Charminar Gate. So he's looking very tough for Snow.
I thought he went up with the... Pardon me, I didn't even bother checking. The foundation's about the same size. Whoopsie.
Well, they're both doing that. It's kind of a standard, I think, wonder in this matchup, because some people like to go with the ceasefire wonder, the Taj Mahal, but that is mostly when you go for Sepoy, because then you can send your Sepoy on top of your opponent's units while using the ceasefire. But when you have Gurkha Zem, it doesn't make much sense to have ceasefire, so they like better to have the Menzapa wonder.
This is not looking good for Snow, just bleeding out units, and his Gurkha count getting very, very low. Disciplined Gurkha now coming in, but not very many left. British East India Company going to follow up as well for Red.
Yeah. I guess
very strong.
Snow still has a shot at somehow getting a good surround with a big pop of stuff. Maybe, like, imagine a batch of Mahouts or something from the stable on the Oromi shipment, but no. He's just getting 2 Mahouts, and it's definitely not enough at this point. And he's calling the GG, yeah. Wow. That was a convincing win from LordRaphael, and we are going to be going to the last game of the best of 7.
Wow. We told you it would be a close series, and they have delivered 3-3.
Yeah. And I personally bet on 4-3 for either player.
Oh, wait.
So I'm very happy.
On Good Speed's betting sheet. Yeah, you're going to be in the money in terms of points, so congratulations, Kaiser. But this is really, really good. 3-3. In this qualification series, approaching 600 viewers. This is looking very, very good, and I'm very pleased to see that. Let's take a look at the military unit count, and you can see that big fight just after he aged up. Green pushed in, he wanted to do a bit of damage, but the awkward Soa pathing. Not a great trade for Green, and Red comes out on top, and then Red just compounds that advantage as he pushes out. He has his disciplined upgrades in, and the Yorumi and the Mahouts, and is able to just kill lots of Green units as he's pushing in, but not enough here for Green in this base once he did finally get up and does lose. Let's head on out into this final game. Snow
Yeah.
does get the advantage for this final game. LordRaphael has to pick first because he won the previous game, so he does have that going for him. But what an exceptional series.
Right. That's all down to... it's basically the advantage when you win the first game, which is the most even game because you agree on a matchup, right? And Snow won that first game, right? Which is why when it's 3-3, he's one counter picking in the last game, so it's quite a big advantage here. And we are just gonna wait for them to kick the wait, no, that's not the real game.
Yeah, that's
they are just hosting fake game.
Yeah, there's a bunch. It's quite fun though. There's a lot of clowns on ESO at the moment. Everyone's hosting up games called Snow Spiel, which is what the name of the game is when Snow actually hosts, and they're trying to trick us. It's quite fun, but
I got tricked. But
1-0 to you.
Yeah, but none of these clowns are any close to Kaiserklein, so it's fine. I don't mind. I'm just the king of clowns, right? So I will trick them myself at some point.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Maito saying 3 mirrors. Oh. 3 mirrors and 3 victories for LordRaphael. Dark-Shide Yesh cheered 100. PogChamp 100. Thank you very much. Look at this. 3 mirrors. Sioux mirror, Port mirror, India mirror. LordRaphael comes out ahead in all of them. So I think LordRaphael, this is why he's been happy to take the mirrors. He sort of trusts himself to play well and to do, you know. I think he just trusts himself, mechanically speaking, and clearly it's paying off here. But Snow doesn't have to take a mirror here. LordRaphael has to pick first, and Snow could well avoid it, and I would encourage him to do so.
Yeah, and like you said yourself earlier, LordRaphael is a little bit more of a 1v1 player than Snow, and I think that's why he likes mirrors better, because he maybe knows a little bit better how to play these really close games, these mirrors, and Snow is maybe more comfortable trying to win with raids and a little bit less standard stuff than a mirror. And I would have really liked to see in this last game how it would have gone if the Sowars from Snow would have been able to get a good spot on the Gorkas. Then I wonder who would have won that game. Would have been nice to see, but it was kind of one-sided because of the passing of the Sowars here. And Snow, you couldn't see it because you were not in the game, but he was saying, my Sowars did no damage, so sad. Snow just typed this, and yeah, it's true, they did really nothing.
Yeah. Whoopsie daisy, I suppose.
Yep.
Oh, damn. Florida, though.
That's always
the final map.
Always a risk. Always a risk when you go for the aggressive stuff with hand cav, and you have to push in the base, and you know that sometimes the passing in this game can really screw you a little bit. Well, anyway, now Snow peaking second, so we're probably not gonna see a mirror, right? So even if LordRaphael won every mirror, I don't think it's gonna be a mirror. So it's gonna be interesting.
It might be. I don't think it'll be a mirror. Cheers, Digit, for the subscription there.
It could be a mirror, obviously, but
what nationality has the co-caster? Kaiserklein is French.
Yeah, right.
If you couldn't tell.
Yeah, I think that's kind of obvious, but to my accent, but I take it as a compliment, I guess.
Your English is actually very, very good, but I know you don't need to be told that.
Yeah, I have a good English, I think, but the accent is...
It's still very French. I have a very English accent too, don't worry. We can't get away from accents. There is no such thing as a neutral accent. Everyone has an accent. But again, Snow and LordRaphael taking their sweet time. LordRaphael has to pick first, and he is considering it. He is really, really thinking.
Yeah, well, that's a match point here. It's so intense now.
Yeah. And
both of them can't play stray sieves, so it makes it even a bit harder to figure out what you want to play here. But Sioux is very strong in Florida, but none of them can play it anymore. And what do you have besides Sioux on Florida? You can beat Germany, and no one has won with Germany so far, I think. Just LordRaphael picked them twice and lost twice with them.
Ah, that's interesting. Yeah, let's see.
And there's also France.
I was going to say that as well. Let's see the Civ selection screen, because you're right, Germany was played twice by LordRaphael, and that's his, a very strong Civ for him. I would not be surprised to see Germany come out. So it could also mirror with Germany, and we could see a German mirror in the final game, but maybe Snow would prefer not to, given that, LordRaphael, all he has won so far is mirrors, probably keen to avoid that. But again, LordRaphael playing as Germany, you don't really want to click into that matchup as France either. So Snow, those two civs that he's very strong with. I picked Ger. Okay, looks like LordRaphael has picked Germany, guys. Let's take a look at that lobby again, and we'll get Snow's reaction to it.
You say you don't want to click in as France. I know lots of people think it's Germany favored. I personally would click as France on Florida against Germany. Because it's such a high resources map, you can stay in bases for a long time, and France is just better in late game, kind of. Yeah. And you also get all the livestock and the good treasures. So I personally would rather be France against Germany on that map than Germany against France. But we'll have to see what Snow wants to do. Obviously, he can be France or Germany, which are some of his main civs. He can't pick Brits or Sioux anymore, which are really strong on this map, and arguably beating Germany on this map as well, but he can't pick them. So yeah, either France or Germany or something else, I guess. But it's gonna be interesting.
They're saying your accent could be Canadian as well. That is a fair point.
I guess
you could be from Quebec, but not the case. You're the real deal here. As if Quebecians are not the real deal. I'm insinuating that's not true at all. That's not what I'm saying. But yeah, LordRaphael selected Germany. Snow now considering. He could play India, but I don't think he will.
I would really like to see some really classic Snow and LordRaphael matchup. Like, they come to 3-3 boss playing stuff like India and Sioux and some civ that are maybe not their first civs. And then you get to the last game, the most important one in the series, and you see a very standard, like, France-Germany stuff, like the typical Eric and LordRaphael civ. Would be really nice to see. But we'll have to wait and see what Snow goes for. He could also India, I guess. I don't think it's the best matchup to pick against Germany, but on Florida, India is a good civ. And he hasn't won with them, so it's gonna be nice. But we might have to wait a little bit because it's very important pick here.
I do kind of like this. I like how intense it feels. And I'm imagining at the LAN, the players just sitting there staring at their screen, just like thinking, like what civ do I play? Like, it's such an important decision. And I love how in AoE3 they agonize over it so much. It's very fun to watch. And then when finally someone picks a civ, it's just like, oh, and the whole chat goes, oh, and everyone's like, oh no, can't do that. And other people are like, yes. it's all very fun.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Like,
you get very polarized people in this game, don't you? Some people are like, no, this matchup's horrible, and others are like, no, this is fine.
Yeah, or like, no way he goes for the civ, and then he just picks it and like, wow, what the hell? And you get friends. There you go.
There we go.
And I like it.
And
I know most people don't, but I like it.
Yeah, and this is a perfect example. I always say, like, I hate this matchup. I really don't like playing as France against Germany. But you're like, this is fine. You see, this is another example. But I trust your opinion. You are, a higher level player. I think one of the strongest currently. So if you think France is fine against Germany, I'll believe you. I guess I'm just not doing it right. But I can see the merit. High HP Vils, you've got the cannon shipment, and if you're just careful about the Uhlans and can deflect the raids, should be fine. I always wonder how to start as France in this matchup. Do you go for the stable? It always feels like you can't have enough hussars as they do Uhlans, or do you go for the barracks and just use the muskets to try and defend against the raids? But then you end up with crappy muskets in the Fortress Age. But then I suppose you can go with the semi, with you can have the muskets to defend your falconets. It's all very interesting, and I'm very, very interested to see how Snow handles this. But ladies and gentlemen, we are clicking into game number 7 in a best of 7. Snow versus LordRaphael. The winner of this series will come to the LAN. They will qualify. The loser will drop down to the elimination brackets, where they will have one more chance to qualify. But this a big series. Ladies and gentlemen, the score is 3-3. The map is Florida. My name is Interjection. I'm joined by Kaiserklein. If you're listening on YouTube, do follow us on Twitch. You can see the link in the chat and in the description of the player, because this is not a regular thing. This stream will be going offline after this series if you are watching on YouTube, but there are more games to be watched. We just want to get a bit more exposure for this particular game. It is a big deal, and let everyone know that it's happening and that they can come follow us on Twitch, which is where all of this Age of Empires 3 action is happening. But ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the north of the map, in the color green, on Florida, it is a market start because it is Florida. Coin and wood, and a 30 wood treasure in base, guarded by an outlaw blowgunner as well. Already has a sheep in line of sight, has picked that up. Here we have Snow playing as the France. Going to crock shot the blowgunner immediately and pick up his wood. Hunting dog's going to be very easy to get here on this map. The native scout going out to grab the sheep. And I suppose that's another benefit to playing France on this map. You have a native scout, and there are livestock to be found, and has done that and gotten one. But Germany off to a good start as well. He's already found 2 sheep, same as France for the time being, despite not having a native scout. And he too is going for hunting dogs. Both players getting that very, very quickly. Snow, of course, much faster than his opponent due to the wood treasure, but finds a sheep of Snow and deletes it right there.
No, I mean, sorry, actually, Snow deleted it just before, because it's kind of random, you know, when you pick up some livestock, it takes more or less of a long time to convert, if you know what I mean. Sometimes it's really fast, sometimes not. And this time it was really slow, so he had time to see the explorer coming in and to delete it.
And stop
before it got converted.
Sheep. So that's a really nice move from Snow. Just give that tiny bit of extra time. You sometimes get able to react and delete the sheep here. But LordRaphael, that's a nice treasure. Going to find 100 food right off the bat. And doing quite well in terms of sheep. He's on 3, his opponent on 2, because he had to delete one, but is going to even that up. He does find a sheep up here. Oh no, that's his native scout, pardon me. And indeed, there are a couple more sheep still out on the map. So I think France will end up with more overall, but a good start from Germany. I think LordRaphael will be pleased with this start.
Yes, but LordRaphael is still chopping wood. He's going to go for a TP.
Oh, baby. That's fine, though, right? He got 100 food. That's going to mitigate some of that, and the TP is going to be really solid for him.
I mean, it's more like... Usually, you can actually go for a TP on Florida on a coin start, because you have the free market. So 100 coin is roughly equivalent to 100 wood if you just buy wood in the market. But usually then you would build your TP first, because obviously when you build a TP, you want to have it fast to get the XP and ship your 2 set of wagons. And then you get hunting dogs after that, right? Because it's much more important to get your set of wagons in super quick. But he didn't do that, so I think he's going to have to age up probably 18, even with the 100 food treasure, unless he eats a lot of sheep or something. And on the other hand, I'm pretty sure Snow is going to age up 13, because he just got hunting dogs for free, despite having quite a poor herding, actually. I think he will be able to age 13 here. Yeah. So it might be 13 against 18 age up. Look at the food count. And that is just so risky from LordRaphael here. Although I'm very sad that Snow has this poor herding here. Look at that. He's struggling so much to go to 800 food. Could have eaten a sheep or something, but...
Yeah, that not underneath his TC where he needs to be. A little bit sloppy. Maybe the tournament nerves kicking in there. Yeah. But either way, still up very, very quick compared to his opponent. LordRaphael still on 600 food, but is going to use the sheep. We've seen him do this before in lots of different matchups. He tends to not care so much for the late game food bonus. He'd rather just have a stronger age 1 and eat the sheep, you know, very, very quickly, and just use it to get up on time and mitigate the problems that he has building a market and hunting dogs and trading post. Obviously didn't build the market, but is not too far behind, but obviously slower, not ideal. France is going to put down a trading post in transition. Germany already has theirs. Explorer now coming up the coastline. Not, I expect, looking for a dock, but is going to weave inside the French base and see what's going on here. Just needs to know how many vills are on what. If there's too many vills on wood, he might suspect something funky, but Lots of vills on wood. I
Yeah.
don't think he's expecting anything unusual. I guess he's just gathering for steel traps, which is the case, and these vills will now move. But it is going to get the lay of the land in his opponent's base. Of course, German scouting, you don't get that much line of sight considering you only have the sort of one unit here. But now bringing in these herds with his couple of vills, going to have to try and bring them on under his town center. But it seems quite late, this herding. Maybe, again, tournament nerves. I think he'll still get the herds under his TC, but he's starting the herding sort of quite late, whereas Snow has got all of his hunts tucked away nicely under the TC. Snow now up to the second age, 400 wood on the floor. Villagers going through the TC to gather it up. Let's see what buildings he starts with. I'm very interested to see. You sometimes see the stable, you sometimes see the barracks. Stable going to come down from Snow.
But I think there's a unit shipment on the way. It's probably 3 hussars, because look, he's got way too much pop space for it to be just 4 CDBs, right?
Oh,
he's on 21. And because he edged up so early, and he probably saw that LordRaphael took a TP in age 1, so he reckoned that LordRaphael would edge up a bit late. He just went for the 3 hearts, gonna lay down a stable as well, and just gonna get like... and war dogs as well. And then he's gonna get like 7 or 8 hearts, and look at that. It's gonna be tough for LordRaphael to deal with, maybe. Then again, I can't help but think about if Snow was up these like 15 seconds earlier that he lost because of herding, he would have already the hussars wreaking havoc in LordRaphael's base. But still, he's gonna be much faster, and that's interesting. These 3 hearts, definitely not standard, but I do see the point of doing that. It's also catching your opponent off guard. He doesn't expect hussars to be here that early, and so he's going to lose a villager here already.
Which is why the villagers still out there herding. You just don't expect to see 3 hussars so soon. That you have to train them from the stable and all that kind of thing. And 2 Uhlans here, they do take off one of the dogs, and they're going to try and get away, but they are caught there, and he's going to lose one, but did trade off for a war dog. So that's quite nice for him. He's going to pick up this explorer. It's very low HP. And let's take a look at units in queue. We do see Uhlans in queue at the stable there. So we're going to see, there they are now. But as they are trained, 4 hussars have made it across the map here. And now France, the hussar is stronger than the Uhlan here. So this is really nice. Often I find against Germany, it's so hard to keep up with their cav count. But with the 3 hussar start, he's actually on top here, which is really nice for him.
It's not something you can usually do if you age up at the same time. But here he was up at, let's check, almost 30 seconds earlier, so he definitely was able to ship 3 hearts and do some damage. One thing I want to talk about also is the position of this native scout, which is just not great. And I feel like, imagine he picked up that native scout here on top. So if he just brought it directly next to Snow's base, he might have seen the 3 hussars come, and he would not have lost his bill and everything. So a little bit sad here, sad native scout. But now, Snow barely gonna get away here. He can't really take that fight. There's too many Uhlans. Gonna lose his explorer, but that's not a huge deal. He's got more hussars in the back though, so maybe now he can turn back and fight it. But no, he doesn't. Probably afraid of some other units coming from the German base. A really tense game here.
Very, very tense. Both the scouts on the move though. Oh, here we go. Looks like there's a lot of German cav here. Is going to leave one back to try and snare, and he gets away, sacrificing one to snare the group, and is able to get away, and is absolutely fine for the time being. Very, very even game currently, but
I'd say it's a little bit France favored actually. I mean, he's 3 villagers ahead in recalculated pop somehow. He killed, how many villas did he kill? Just 1?
Units lost.
3. He killed
3.
3
Oh my
vills.
goodness! I didn't realize he killed 3
that's
vills.
why.
That's exceptional for France. He's going to be so pleased with that. But this is going to even it up a little bit. 400 resource worth of hussar. He does spot the Uhlans though. 2 more Uhlans though. Going to catch the snare, and he's just going to trade them off. But 1 huss does get away.
Oh, nice!
That's nice.
So he's trading 1 huss for half a Uhlan, which is not good.
But
the deer blocking. Damn it. Okay, well, but he's sending his massive huss across the map, and he definitely has more.
I think he can pull that huss away with the big group. Let's see if he does it.
I think he can snare.
Oh no! Does he want to take it though? No. Looks like I think LordRaphael not ready to engage that just yet. He doesn't know if 5 more huss are coming across the map or something, which they pikemen being mixed in now from a barracks.
Yeah, but pikemen is don't like it because Germany. We know, I mean, we've seen that before. Germany can just make 5 doppels to help a little bit fight France in the age 2, and we do have a doppel in queue for LordRaphael. He might actually cancel it, like just the safety net, you know, having that doppel in queue, able to pop dubs, or just not. And I think he did cancel it already because it's really long now that it's in queue. So I think he canceled it at like halfway and then re-queued it again just in case. So if LordRaphael is going to cancel his dub and age up, which it looks like he's going to do, then maybe the 5 pikes can do something. But for now, they're not super useful. And no, he's going to age and anyway pop dubs in transition, which is also good, just to help you hold a little bit. If France is going to go for some kind of Musk Huss timing or Pike Huss, apparently, and you have 3 dubs, it just helps like so much. And I really like that he trained dubs in transition. But Snow is in fact aging up. So the dubs are not going to be Tour 11 here.
Yeah, both players aging up, actually. The Doppelsudden is just a safety net. As you're saying, they're not going to be overly useful, but nor are those pikemen. I suppose they're just a safety net as well. Both players just wanting some anti-cav in the fight, just to, if a fight does happen in mid-map or something, they've got something to swing it in their way, a really strong anti-cav unit. But both players now up to the Fortress Age. Snow up to the Fortress Age as well.
Yeah, and Snow able to age up at the same time, despite shipping 3 Hussars first, just because the pikes were probably cheaper, and because he used the wood to train them. And also, he just did damage early on, and I think he delayed Germany. So, I mean, being able to age up at the same time, despite shipping 1 more card in Colonial, is just pretty good for Snow here. He's not going to get the veterancy on his Hussars. I think he could have maybe trained 5 more Huss in transition and then get veterancy. And then you have like lots of vet Hussars in early Fortress. And along with some Dragoons, it's very scary for Germany to deal with. Yeah. But he didn't do that. So
I guess it's
playing
always,
it a bit more standard.
It's always disappointing, right, to train or to upgrade your Hussars as France simply because you have Cuirassiers. And they're basically a veteran unit already, a veteran cav unit. So upgrading Hussars always seems a bit disappointing. So maybe that's why he's not. But you're right, there's so many Hussars there, and if he trained 5 more, 14. It would look really, really solid. Look at this. Classic Snow.
Yeah.
3 Huss just randomly out on the map, poised to raid. But LordRaphael shipping 1,000 wood, slowing down considerably here, trying to get a nice advantage. And I really like his housing placements. Just if any fight is to happen, going to cause issues for Cav to get on top of skirms or anything like that. His Dops are poised here to defend any raids. Just trying to be greedy, try and get that infrastructure down. And if this works, it'll be absolutely solid. And also LordRaphael poising a raid, which looks like it will be quite successful against the CDBs. I'd like to see a wall here or something. But now coming in, and remember, CDBs, they have no melee resist like ordinary villagers, so Ulan's very strong against them, but thankfully he does have Greatcoats active. Looks like he's going to have to call Minutemen or something. He doesn't have any units nearby. In fact, the whole unit is being...
I mean, yeah, not super nearby, but close enough. And now he's going to split, I hope. And yeah, he's doing that. So, well, he did lose a couple of CDBs, but if he can kill 3 Ulans, it's okay. And he's going to kill them for sure. And... he's still ahead by a lot in the economic population. I mean, a lot by 4 vills. So.
Well, he killed opponents. He's only lost 1 vill, and he killed his opponents 3. But this is the time that Germany needs. I think Germany losing those 3 Ulans not ideal, but it did force the whole army back across the map whilst he's sending 1,000 wood. And you know, that's a time you want to be pressuring, want to be punishing your opponent for being greedy. But looks like LordRaphael sends it and has gotten away with it absolutely fine here. And that's really strong for him.
Yeah, it's really good. Then again, as France, you don't really need 1k wood because Germany does need it. You see already in the pop space that he's got 150 pop because he knows Germany needs more pop space. So it's kind of okay if Germany gets away with 1k wood and you don't as France because you just don't really need the 1k wood. But definitely, yeah, nice for Germany to get that.
Look at this, a few Halbs being trained as well.
CDB going forward on that gold mine, gonna spot all the units. And Falconet's going to come in, so it might be go time here for Snow with the Halberdiers as well, indeed.
That explains. This is really, really interesting. Like, Halbs have been so out of fashion, but actually, unless you're Azemk. But, you know, in a couple of series now, when you combine with the Falk shipments, we're seeing just a couple of extra Halbs to defend them. That's really, really nice to see. And they're very strong at doing that.
The big problem also of making Halbs usually is that you need stop your skirmisher production. And in a lot of matchups, it's a skirmisher war, so you really want to keep making skirms. But against Germany, you don't really want to have too many skirms. And so I guess making halves is okay here.
Here we go.
And he might get a good volley on the oh no, just gonna give 2 dragoons. Oh, ouch! But
yeah,
okay,
and not gonna get a volley in return with his skirms
Nope.
here. We've just broken 600 viewers, 606 viewers at the time of listening to it. Of course, there's a 2-minute delay. Thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. But is going to get a couple of Ulans back. He lost some dragoons, but does kill an Ulan there. But we do see more raiding villagers. LordRaphael on top this game.
Yeah.
And, pulling some goons back to handle this, but a couple of Ills going down. Let's switch on over to units lost. 4 CDBs down, and his opponent only 3 villagers down. So, looking
They
to
do
get
have
back.
the same eco.
Big
though.
volley. Skirms take a shot. Not
Oh.
going to... And going into
second
stagger
one.
mode.
Oh, nice.
2 Ulans coming
Oh, and
forward.
the 2 one, oh, that was scary. Like, imagine just 2 Ulans, 2 AFK Ulans like that, just killing the Falconets somehow. Would be so sad.
That would be a game, wouldn't it? But Vils, look at them. They're trying to come forward onto the mines. Looks like, though, France ready to take a fight here.
Yeah, Snow gonna be in position to get. Nope, not gonna
get a
shoot
volley.
there, but killing another Vil. It's just looking quite good for Snow. Then
Lots of
again, we're
wagons
gonna have to
coming
see when the
forward.
fight happens. We'll have to see. Like this fight is gonna decide who wins this game probably. And there's 3 clears in Snow's base, but he's pulling only 1. Sadly, he misclicked, and that might be huge actually, not having the 2
One
remaining
cannon
clears
down.
in the fight.
The
Yeah,
war
1
wagons
cannon
did
down.
manage to snipe it, but they took a lot of volleys to do so. Still 1 cannon alive. Germany and the Ulans really scared, not the Ulans, the Halberdiers really scaring those Ulans away. 1 cannon.
Maybe too many harbs though. I mean, it's mostly skirm or wagon here, so relevant halberdiers here. Maybe
Especially-
5 were fine, but you kind
Especially
of
if
want
he
more
can snipe
skirms
down
now.
the Falconets. And I think that's what he's going to do. Coming forward, does get a volley onto the Falc with the skirms, and the war wagon's going to finish it off. And now all those halbs, that was what was keeping them relevant. The fact that units had to get close to the Falc. But now they're gone, and you're right, the halves are not a...
Kind of
not a-
rubbish, yeah.
Yeah, they're not good. I mean, maybe just sort of send them off and to defend raids. I mean, they can also raid. There's a lot of Ills on this mine. A couple of dops there. I really like that on top of the mine, just defending any potential raids from Snow. And looks like that's what Snow's going to do. He is so diligent with
Yeah.
his raiding. But they're going to be met by
Yeah, but
doppels.
the Dobbs are gonna be strong here, and Snow is gonna get caught by the Dobbs while also giving 3 kills, kind of. And it's looking quite good for LordRaphael here.
Yeah, it's looking really, really good.
Really
for
quite
LordRaphael.
good. It's
He's coming in now.
It's close to being GG. I mean,
But he's got a lot of halbs. Can he get them on top of the of the war wagons? War wagons
What
do
are
have
they
good
gonna
melee
do,
resist, but
though?
they're going to go down quickly to
Yeah.
the skirmish of fire. There's a big batch of cuirassiers here, though. They're trying to come in. LordRaphael kiting
I
back.
guess. I guess. Oh wow, nice queer swing, just killing so many skirms. I don't know. It's
more
very
war dragons
close.
joining
He's
the
pulling
fray.
city.
Gonna chuck the
Pulling
villagers
the
into the
city
fight.
as
3
well.
dops joining as well.
And bringing the settler wagons, like it's so
And
tense. They
CDBs
really
in
need
this
everything.
fight too. Both
Yeah.
players just cannot lose this fight. They know this fight is so important. Bringing the
But
everything
look at the
they've got
military.
in. Just chucking
Look at the
everything.
military.
Yeah, red very
So
far ahead.
one-sided.
And green gonna have to get out of here. And more Ulans coming in from the side.
Oh, yeah, and he does have calf combat. We didn't really talk about that, but these calf combat Ulans are gonna clean up. And I think LordRaphael is qualifying to the land just now.
Yeah, this looks very, very good for LordRaphael. A big cleanup. GGWP coming in. Snow resigns. GG. LordRaphael takes the score 4-3 and will qualify through the upper bracket.
Yeah, that is a really good series.
Really, really
Really,
nice.
really good series.
I kind of expected LordRaphael to come out on top, but we knew they would deliver a close series. But he says, I'm not sure if the mic is working. We can do that. Let's see if we can get LordRaphael in for a chat. 613 viewers at the time of watching. We're going to see what LordRaphael has to say. He has just qualified. Let's get him in here.
All right.
I'll add him. All right, we're calling him now. Let's see if he'll pick up.
All right.
But yes, looks like we're all here.
Hi.
All right. Welcome to the stream, LordRaphael. Congratulations, firstly. That was an intense series. You must have been feeling the nerves in that final game there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, it was quite intense. I was pretty nervous in the end, but yeah, luckily Snow went for a mainly goon cure fault composition, which gets hard countered by Warwagon's emo, so
Yeah.
it was pretty good.
So, what were you thinking when those 3 hussars rocked up in your base at like 4 minutes or 5 minutes 20 or whatever it was?
I don't know. I kind of wasn't surprised because Snow Eric is kind of famous for playing very aggressive, but still, I don't know. My houses were blocking my gold mine, so I was pretty upset about that. It was bad building placement, and yeah, I just didn't macro well enough because usually I don't think the 3 Huss first is a really good strategy versus German. So yeah.
It looked pretty solid when he was doing it because you went for that trading post, and it was quite a late trading post. I think he saw you go for that and thought to himself, he's going to age up late. And you are up late, but you mitigated some of that with eating the sheep, so you did get up, sort of on time. But that it seemed pretty good from him. And you lost a few villages, but sort of came through in the end. I think we're seeing that on the screen now. I'm going to assume that people can sort of still hear me. I didn't realize we had highlights, but that's really cool to see. But I don't know if I'm live. Let's get some confirmation from the booth.
That would suck.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just wait. That's over now. Okay. I think what's going on is these are people's clips that the chat has been clipping that we're using, so that's really cool. But yeah, we're seeing some of that action early on. So I need to ask you, LordRaphael, you have said in previous games that you have I think a heater or a hairdryer, like a blow dryer, because your hands get very cold during tournament series. And did you have cold hands? Did you have to warm them up? Is that why you were taking so long between games?
I did actually have cold hands, but unfortunately my hairdryer is broken, so
you've used it too much to warm your hands in tournament series.
Couldn't use that trick, but yeah, it was fine in the end, I guess.
Yeah. Do you think it makes much difference having cold hands? Do you find your micros?
It makes an extremely big difference in my opinion. You just feel like a robot. You can't micro. I mean, maybe for the viewer you don't necessarily notice it, but as a player it makes big difference if your hands are cold or if they are warm.
Well, you've qualified for the LAN.
I agree.
And don't worry, British summers are not terribly cold, so hopefully in July it'll be okay. Sorry, go ahead, Kaiser.
Yeah, I had that before myself in tournament, especially when you're a bit nervous and then you feel like your hands are just like you can't move your fingers just properly, and you can't click or hit the keys just like you should, and it's extremely annoying. So yeah, I do understand that.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. Okay, let's take a look at the Civ selection screen. I want to talk to you, LordRaphael, about some of your games here and get your thoughts on sort of what was going on. If Ham or someone, Zach, I don't know who's controlling, if you could move that notepad file, I can't actually see everything. But the first game was the Sioux Mirror. So can you tell us a bit about why you picked Sioux? Because you're not known as a Sioux player or someone that plays them overly much. Do you think they're really strong at the moment? Is that why you selected them? And is that why you think Snow selected them as well? What do you think about that Sioux Mirror?
I mean, first of all, Sioux is very strong in the current patch, in the current meta. And also, I usually like to start my series with a mirror, because then you just avoid the whole Civ selection bullshit and you just go in with a mirror. I'm usually very confident in mirrors, so yeah. And when I saw him picking Sioux, which I'm not that comfortable against, I just picked them myself. And yeah, and the good thing in a mirror, usually the better mechanics prevail, so that's why I'm
why you were happy to play them. And that looks like a common theme throughout this series, actually. Your first 3 victories were picked up in mirrors, a Sioux mirror followed by Portuguese mirror, and then towards the end of the series as well, a Indian mirror. And it looks like you were actively seeking out mirrors.
Yes, I did. In fact, I was picking Germany that much because I wanted the German mirror, but he refused to give it to me, so yeah.
On 3 separate occasions. I think Snow knows, you really are a powerhouse with Germany. I think that's one of your main civs, and he didn't want to offer that German mirror to you. You're right. But before we talk about the next game, perhaps a more general question. I want to ask you, what are your sort of favorite civs, or the civs you've played the most with, and why do you think that is the case?
I guess I used to play Nilla before I came to TED. So I'm pretty comfortable with all Nilla civs except maybe Spain, I guess. And yeah, Ottoman, I don't play them as much, but I think I can play them okayish. So yeah, basically Spain and Ottoman are maybe my least favorite civs of the vanilla main game. But yeah, apart from that, I'm pretty comfortable with all of them. So those would be my main
the main Nilla civs in general, then. Is it the mechanics of Ottoman and Spain that you don't like, or their civ bonuses, or is it nothing to do with that? Is it just because they're exceptionally strong on the vanilla and you just didn't like that about them?
Yeah, that was one point, because they are OP on Nilla, so I basically never played them back in the day. And also, usually Ottoman and Spain are like those naked FF civs. And I'm not the biggest fan of those in general.
That's funny, because that's the style I'm best at. So, yeah, I'm actually quite good with Spain and Ottoman, but it's not hard to be good with Ottoman on RE patch or vanilla, and indeed Spain on vanilla as well. Let's talk about that Baja, California game there. You played, I think, Germany, wasn't it?
Yes,
Germany against his British there. But he did end up trumping you in the end. He beat you in the end as the British, but it looked so solid. In the first half of that German game, you had a big advantage, and it looked like you could have snowballed that into a win.
Yes, I think I played it quite decent. I mean, I was pretty happy to see him going for that kind of style, because I don't know, I'm not sure if it's really that good on Baja versus Germany, because you kind of are low on hunts, and so I was pretty happy about that. And yeah, I think I did good until I kind of wasted too many Ulans, and then I missed my war wagon switch. Like, I lost that one fight where he had 4 or 5 Huss and 10 goons, and I had only Ulans. And yeah, I was preparing to war wagon switch, but my macro was off, and so yeah, it all came too late, and that was pretty painful, because I think I should have won that game.
Yeah, I think you must have been pretty happy to see him make like so many pikes in H2, and just like going for a kind of semi-FF, but not. I feel like he could have maybe gone more aggressive, because your second gold mine is exposed and you don't have too many hunts. Or then he could have gone H3, but maybe not with so many pikes, right? Because he kind of lost all of them, and then you had a big timing under his TC where you could clean him up and everything. And I think you already had that game, until he just coached you like twice with a couple hustles.
And also his falconets did quite a bit of damage, I think.
Yeah, that was a fun game. You ended up losing that in the end. But the next one, that was really interesting. Before we address it, that was on Thar Desert, because, of course, you skipped the Deccan and New England. Actually, I'm going to ask you about that first. But firstly, thank you very much for the subscriptions there from Sundanches giving one to Digit, I think, who I thought was Digit himself subscribing earlier. That was 35 minutes ago. And we're gifting 5 random subs, so congratulations, everybody, if you were selected. Welcome to I think we're calling it the Escapees, although that sounds like, can we get some what faces in the chat, because that's an awful name. But yes, how come I know Eric decided to veto New England, and you selected Deccan. So firstly, how come you selected Deccan? Do you not like Deccan? What's wrong with Deccan? And also, why do you think Eric selected New England?
mean, I think Eric doesn't really like water play, and New England is kind of a map where water play really excels and dominates. So I guess that's why he vetoed that. And I don't know. I really didn't put much thought into my veto. In general, Deccan is kind of, I don't know. Like, first of all, Asian civs are very good on that map, and yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Japan and China, so that's one point. And also the high crate start kind of makes it a bit unpredictable. Yeah, but maybe I should have vetoed Baja, California. I just didn't think about that map, and yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that either. So if I had to do it all over again, I would have vetoed California instead of Deccan, I think.
Fair enough. But that makes a lot of sense. Your initial thoughts on Deccan, China and Japan very strong on those maps, and if you're not a huge fan of those civs, you can sort of avoid it somewhat by doing that, by vetoing it. But yeah, and it's unpredictable. If you're a player that's very strong and you want to know what's going on, Deccan can kind of throw that up in the air. Okay, so that's good to get your thoughts. A few more subscriptions coming in. We're giving 5 more out, so if you were not lucky the first time, perhaps you are now. And Spirit of Dan also subscribing with Prime, and Amigo coming in with $5. Apparently I made AoE3 great again. Thank you very much. But I think it's Escape AoE that's also contributing to that. Yeah, Amigo, unlucky you didn't get a subscription. Right, LordRaphael, congratulations. Thar Desert. That was India versus Russia.
Let's just not talk about that.
What happened?
I mean,
what happened? You had a great matchup, right? India's so good against Russia, but it sort of fell apart.
I mean, it's certainly not a completely unwinnable matchup for Russia, especially if it goes like that. But yeah, I don't know. That was just bad from start. I mean, I had a good start actually. I think I got some decent treasures, and yeah, but then I think I invested too much in my market, and maybe I thought about during the game I should have sent 4 Sovas first, because I kind of knew he would go for something like 10, 20 Strelet, 4 or 5 Cossacks, and I think with 4 Sovas and the Minutemans I would have completely cleaned it up, and then I would have been fine. So yeah.
You started with foreign logging in that matchup, and at the time Kaiser and I thought you were being sort of quite greedy, and you did get punished, it seemed, for doing that. You're saying you wanted to send 4 Sour?
I was thinking about it because, yeah, it's 4 Sours basically just beat the 10 Strelet, 5 Cossack, like, aggression. I mean, with those, what's it called, irregulars, they just clean, and the elephants and the 2 sepoys, they just clean them up. And I also got a pretty unlucky or a pretty bad Minuteman pop at the start. So yeah, it was really not going well. But I kind of like foreign logging versus a rush, because basically you have all your wills idled, but you're still getting resources. For example, if you send 600 wood or something like that, then it's just laying next to the TC and you can't gather it anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe a 300 export to get the Minutemen or something like that.
Yeah.
Or the Hussars.
Yeah, but then I would have had to skip the market, I think. Maybe that's just better. But I think Russia eco is pretty strong, so you can't invest too much into defending the rush, because then you will just be behind. So yeah.
Yeah, and maybe you also felt really safe, and that's maybe why you shipped the wood trickle. I don't know, because you edged so early with the wood stars.
Yes. I was feeling pretty confident, I must say. Yeah. So I really wasn't planning on losing that. I mean, I knew I would have a big advantage in the no TP maps, because Eric doesn't really have that many no TP civs. Like, I know he can play India, but I knew my India. I was very confident that my India is better than his, and then there's Russia, which usually should be beaten by India as well. And yeah, so I kind of planned that I would win the no TP games. Yeah.
Fair. That didn't go quite your way in the end, but still, you came out ahead. You won the series overall, but it made for quite a tense Thar Desert, and the betting, right? People are able to bet our imaginary points on your games. I think you had 80% of the bets, maybe even 82%. So you made a lot of people lose some points, which was kind of funny. But let's move on to the High Plains, which I believe was a Portuguese mirror. And you mentioned earlier in this interview that you prefer to be playing mirrors. That's something you feel confident in. You went with the ATP start, and so did he. Firstly, were you surprised by the trading post that Snow built at the very start of the game?
I was very happy to see that, I must say. I mean, I used to do that myself, but it usually backfires quite hard, and I think it also did for him. And then I got lucky with the 130 food. So yeah, I knew I was ahead from that point. And then I think my strategy was just superior to his. I don't know, like siege the TPs, and yeah, and I was so much faster. So yeah, it just snowballed pretty hard.
Yeah, I was kind of over at the start, to be honest, with this age up time difference, and then he shipped ATP as well after taking one TP, and he was able to take only a second TP. So he got ATP only for one trading post. It was really not good, and you kind of won directly there and snowballed, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You started with 700 food, and he started with 700 wood.
I think that those 700 food crates weren't really needed. I could have also gone for 700 wood and then 700 food. Maybe it would have been better, because then I had to chop a bit for my pikes. But yeah, it was a bit improvised, but I've seen Isam do the 700 food quite frequently, and he usually is quite successful with it, so I thought, hey, why not?
Fair enough. It's quite funny that you're taking inspiration in your builds from the guy that is possibly the least standard player of all time. But I suppose you figure out what works by trying new things, and Azamp certainly does a lot of that. So I suppose taking inspiration from the stuff that he has success with makes a lot of sense. But yeah, that was High Plains, the Portuguese mirror. You won that. That was nice to see. Let's take a look at the Civ selection screen, because Fertile Crescent, Pampas Sierras, and Florida were the final maps. Let's remind ourselves what civilizations were selected there. Snow picked Sioux against your Germans here. I guess, again, you were trying to force a German mirror, but he ended up taking the Sioux. And you've said earlier you think Sioux's very strong. Were you surprised by a Sioux pick into your Germans?
Hello? Is there anyone here, or...?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, I guess we lost LordRaphael?
Yeah, maybe we lost Raphael. Well, maybe he doesn't want to answer that question. Let's, Oh, there he is.
Oh.
Yeah, my mic. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, my microphone is kind of...
We can't really hear you, actually. Maybe you have to plug it again, because...
Okay.
Okay. Need some what faces in the chat. That is a noise and a half.
I think people are gonna be happy about this ear rape.
Yeah, I want to see the what faces flowing. What was I gonna say? Oh, up next we do have King of Osmane versus Jeramuno. So stay tuned for that. We'll be starting sort of very shortly. But let's wrap this interview up very quickly. Then, LordRaphael, do you think you can answer the question, or is your microphone going a bit crazy? I think it's going crazy. I think we'll conclude
Rip.
that, yeah, RIP, R-A-P for sure. Yeah, I think we'll...
Well, maybe we can just, if you really have a question, maybe he can just type it just for the last question. I don't know.
I don't know.
Or not. Up to you.
I think he's gone. I think the magic of the interview is starting to fade when they can't reply with their voice. So there is that. Okay, I think we'll wrap it up there. Shame LordRaphael can't finish the the interview. His mic clearly is not up to snuff. He did tell me that before he came in. It seemed fine, though, so we thought we'd get away with it. But we're going to be ending the stream on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, the stream is ending, but it will continue.